What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to the channel. Sorry about that little delay there. Everything decided to melt down right as the clock hit 0. We are good to go now. We've got the stream up. We've got the TBM at 900 sitting in front of us. How's it going, guys? Good to see you all here. Gerald McGinley in the house. How's it going? Dougal McTavish. Good to see you, my friend. IMDimitri here. Daniel Smith. Guys, excellent. How's it going? So, I have to do a small apology. I know you guys were expecting a retro stream. I was myself, and I had the Rotate MD80 ready to go. You guys all voted for it. I mean, I think it got over 400 votes or something. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Did not realize that you guys wanted to see the MD80 that much. So, I got excited, got it out of the hangar, started messing around with it. I don't know what's going on, guys. I cannot get the aircraft to capture nav mode. I can't get it to go into nav mode. Something is definitely bugged. I've uninstalled it twice, reinstalled it, reactivated it, checked my plugins. Basically, the flight directors stay in a perfect cross, and I can't get any nav capture mode. Sometimes I can get it to where nav will come arm, but as soon as the aircraft reaches the point where it's supposed to intercept the nav track, autopilot disconnects and everything just goes to poop. So, I am very disappointed in that. I'm going to try to work on it. I've been working with a buddy of mine who's got his working. So I'm really going to try to fix that so we can do an MD-80 stream. It's a fantastic airplane, but it's borked right now, at least on my sim. Then to add insult to injury, I said, well, let's go ahead and do the 727 stream. That's going to be a fantastic way to stream. I love the 727, little retro. I was going to do a U.S. Airways shuttle flight from LaGuardia down to D.C., do the river visual in a 727. I think that'd be a heck of a lot of fun. Update it yesterday, activate it, and boom. It's completely crashed my sim. It's blocked out, can't fly it. So 727-100, same problem, 777-200, and the freighter all screwed up and broken. So I said, okay, well, let me try the 737-200. Same thing with that. After the update, reactivated, completely borked. However, just before starting the stream, literally minutes before the stream started, I got a ping on the FlyJ Sim Discord saying that the registration issues are fixed if you attempted to do it yesterday, which apparently yesterday was the worst day to try to register an airplane. So that's how luck would have it. So I think there's a fix now, but this stream was already set up and good to go. So I figured we'll just roll with this today. And guys, you know what? I'm feeling good today. We might do a little evening stream, a little after dark stream. Maybe we will load up the 727 tonight and do just a little, maybe an evening hop into 727. No promises, but we'll try to do it if we can. So that's what's been going on. I apologize for we're not in total retro aircraft here. We've got a high-tech TBM 900. You guys know it's one of my favorite airplanes to fly here in the GA version of X-Plane 11, and then we're going to be in the 737-300 Classic down to Washington D.C. So. Carl Childers, good to see you. How's it going, man? I'm doing just fine. Been a crazy morning. Crazy wind and rain here. Wife left the car window down. Car got soaked. She's leaving to work, and so I've been working with that. Toilet started running and leaking. You know, just normal stuff here at the V1 household. But hey, I'm in a good mood. We're ready to stream. Let's get this puppy fired up. Rand Cooley, good to see you here, my friend. Carl Childers says, Skipper, is the IXEG 737 you're talking about? No, we're going to be flying that one next. Believe it or not, the 73 IXEG works for me just fine. But all my FlyJ sim aircraft and the Rotate MD-80 is just completely messed up. So, we're not flying those right now. I think the FlyJ sim stuff has been fixed, like I said, minutes before the stream started. So we'll take a look at that. But I don't know why my MD-80 is doing what it's doing. So if you guys have the Rotate MD-80 and you've had my problem and have been able to fix it, please let me know. Oops, I should unpause the sim here. Please let me know what I need to do. Use the home button for synthetic vision. Why do I have an iPad out right now? What did I do? That's weird. There we go. Click on the little, isn't that cool? Come over here, click on the little USB port. Vicky says, hey everyone, thanks for the advice on the last stream. Bought the Flight Factor 320 last weekend, a really great aircraft. Now I'm trying to figure out how to get the EFB working. What's wrong with the EFB, man? Hydro, yes, I do have Discord. It should be in the description. I believe it's in the description down below. If not, you can do !Discord, and that will get you where you need to be. So let's go ahead and move the crash bar up. We're going to go ahead and change our electrical power to GPU. Listen to the GPU strain. I love it. We'll get the nav lights on. It's a little dark in here. Let's go ahead and turn the panel lights on, access lights. Let's get everything on here. G1000s are going to do their warm-up, TAWS system check and all that. I guess we can go ahead and do a little walk around the airplane. We'll come here. We'll go ahead and... Now there's a way to remove this. I think I have to be here. No, how do I do it? Airframe manager. Nope. Payload. I thought there was a way to click to remove all these things. Maybe I'm mistaken. Let's just go ahead and remove it from the payload manager here. So let's go ahead and move the ties and caps off. We'll move the static wicks off, the pitot tubes. We'll go ahead and remove the chocks, remove the static wicks in the aft, and let's take a look at our payload. So, weight and balance, we go here. Let's go ahead and load up. We're going to be leaving Nantucket Airport, and we're going to be flying into LaGuardia. I thought it'd be kind of cool to fly into LaGuardia in a prop. Never done it. A little bit longer of a flight, but I'll take you guys along with me here. We'll haul as fast as we can TBM to get down there. Carl says this plane, the Malibu and the Seminole, those are great aircraft. Yeah, the Malibu is awesome. Flew the Seminole a ton. Definitely good airplanes. All right. How's it going, Cosmic? Good to see you here, man. All right, so we've got a pilot. I'm just going to do male here. Let's go ahead and add a co-pilot. And what do we have in the back? Let's go ahead and add a couple passengers in the back. And what do we have for aft cargo? Let's go ahead and put in about 100 pounds or so there. Forward cargo, we'll put our, the pilots will put their stuff there for the overnight, so they probably only have about 70 pounds or so. Our CG looks good right there in the middle. Fuel on board, 32 US gallons. That's not going to cut it. We're going to need to change that to... Let's open up the fuel caps here. Let's go ahead and bump this up. Let's do... I want to go fast. If we do 60 gallons a side, it's 120 gallons times, what is it for pounds? Should be enough to get us there. 29.1 CG percent of Mac. Beautiful. All right, so we got 60 US gallons aside. We'll make sure we close the fuel caps. Our payload looks good. We've got 2 people back there. We've got some bags. And with the fuel, takeoff and landing CG look fantastic. So payload is done. Let's go ahead and hop in the airplane here. Kill the master cautions. Vicky says the EFB won't turn on. Interesting. I have not had that problem, so I apologize. I have not had to run around with that problem with the EFB not working. Somebody said, "Oh yeah, let's change my weight." No, my weight in real life is, you guys are gonna know how much I weigh now. 215. I will call it 216. Co-pilot, I'm also 6'2", so there we go. 216 pounds. Co-pilot 196 pounds. A female. Let's go ahead and let's lighten her up a little bit. 120 pounds. I like it. 170, 180 pounds. Beautiful. All right, that looks a little bit better as far as passengers go. We can probably go ahead and close up those doors there. Close up the front cargo door. Now what I do want to do is, remember, there we go. So we're going to go flight plan. Oh boy, I got to remember how to do this here. So let me back out a little bit. Menu, I'm going to just delete this flight plan. This is an old one if you guys remember when we were flying down in Tampa. So we're going to just go ahead and delete this flight plan. And we're going to be KACK. Then the next waypoint is going to be the cargo weight, Carl. When you change that aft cargo, man, that CG does move pretty quick. We're going to go direct to Clammy, which is Charlie Lima. Oops. So I realized just before starting the stream that Orbix actually has a Nantucket Island, which I might have to pick up because I do like that airport. I did fly some regional jets into Nantucket, but the default one isn't terrible. Alright, there's Nantucket, Clammy. Then we're going to join Victor 46. Now, I don't believe I can put in a Victor 46. Let's just see. Victor 46. Yeah, see, no, that won't work. I'd have to put the actual waypoint. But we're going to go CCC, Calverton, enter. And then from CCC, we're going direct to Keep'em. Keep'em, enter. And then from there, we're just going to load in LaGuardia, and I'm hoping we'll just do some visual. We'll do a visual approach into LaGuardia. We'll pick a runway and stuff as we get a little bit closer, but right now that looks good. We're going to just take off here. We'll redirect it direct to Keep'em. Alright, so we got our flight plan in the box. Let's go ahead and set up the altitude. We're going to climb out of here. We're going to go, we're VFR, so we're going to climb straight up. Well, we are VFR. We'd have to stay below the clouds, huh? I guess we'll go IFR. We'll take it all the way up to, let's see, if we'll start out with 17.5. Could always request a VFR on top, but I don't know if we could get back down through the clouds if we were VFR on top. So we'll just set 17.5 for now. That looks good. And let's do a quick look at our maintenance manager before we get going here. Don't want any surprises. Alright. Hop into the engine here, open engine. This is why I love this airplane. Look, we got bearings are worn, fuel nozzles are worn, but everything is still in the green. That looks good. Access to landing gear. Oops. That's because I was put the airplane up on jacks. Electrics. Crash bar is not down. We can't do that unless the crash bar is off. So we should have done that pre-flight. Airframe, though, does look good. Everything looks as new. Beautiful. Miscellaneous items. No surprises there. Maintenance log, as you can see, all I did is render the GPU. This airplane's pretty clean, except the very first time I tried to start it. We did do 350 thou. Don't do that. Don't hot start the hot start. Alright, so that looks good. We're going to go ahead and get ready for a start here. Let's pull up the checklist. So I don't, like I said, I just skipped through a lot of these here. But that's off. Strobes, we'll turn that on. Aux BP fuel switch needs to go on. So up here, aux BP fuel switch to on. We can clear that out. Propeller starter switch on start when NG is greater than 13% and ITT less than 150. We'll go ahead and check start automatically off. Checked. If GPU start, we do it off of battery. That's why I don't understand. If GPU start, source select battery. What's the point of GPU start then? Alright. And then we'll go ahead and turn that into auto and auto. Alright, checklist complete. Return. I'm going to go up here. Generator is off. And this is in battery mode. So the GPU has been relieved. That's in auto, and let's just go ahead and start her up. It's because I got the door open. 13%. Low idle. There's light off. ITT on the rise. Now for start, we can go all the way up to that red line there, technically. Here comes our prop. It's coming out of feather. Oh, you know what I forgot to? I should have turned on the, at least the strobe light there, since we don't have a true beacon. Beautiful. Auto start is off. Let's go into high idle. I'm going to go ahead and close the door. Oh, I hate the click spot on that there. Let's just go here real quick and close that up. Bring that prop out of feather. We're no longer using the GPU, so we can go ahead and disconnect that. Here comes our prop. Looking good. We're going to go on to main there. That's off. That's going to go auto. Autopilot trims on. And I'm going to go ahead and bring her to the right into the feather mode. Perfect. All right. Let's get the bleeds on. Auto AC. Hot airflow. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. We'll go fan speed of 2. Stall no heat. Pitot no heat left and right. And auto selected on the aux pump, which it is. Cool. HDSim, what's up, man? Matthias says you can enter airways. Yes, I know. I just didn't want to go through the process. It's just a short flight. But yeah, you can enter airways in the G1000. I'm just not doing it. A couple directs will be fine. Checklist. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Check, check, and go to next checklist. Generator selector on main. We are. Generator selector on standby, checked, and then back to main, check. So they basically just want you to check this. Normal, associated, we'll check that. Autopilot trims is on, oxygen supply checked. Display backup button, we would do that if we need to. AC switch is auto, press mode switch, pressure, let's see, mode, let's make sure we are in auto. That is something that is important. Where is oxygen? Landing field elevation is 20 feet at LaGuardia, that looks good. Control selector as adjusted. Basically just checking the internals, or internal air conditioning. This is where we want to be. LFE selector is done. Altimeter setting. Let's go ahead and pull that up real quick here from Active Sky. Right now, Nantucket Island is showing 130 at 10. Altimeter 29er, 79er. I'm trying to remember where my... There we go. Turn that off. Turn that off. Altimeter setting is checked. Pitch, yaw, roll trims. I do need to remember where my trims are on this sucker. So... Where's my rudder trim? There's my elevator trim. We'll go ahead and set that for takeoff. Captain G, what's going on, man? Good to see you here. We got takeoff set there, and oh, there we go. There's rudder trim. We're going to do it right in the middle there, between green and white. So that looks good. Roll trim neutral. DI system panel check. Inert step switch is on. Check. All right, taxi, light, passenger briefing. I'm going to just go through these. Park brakes, nose wheel, and the landing field elevation looks good. Next. All right, we'll go ahead and go over this when we get to the runway. So I'm going to go ahead and go return. Let's zoom all the way in here. So if the winds are 130 at 9, we're probably going to take off. Let's look at, oops. That's not the binding I want. Let me change the quick binding here, guys, real quick. I need to go to my X56. No, this needs to be... What's that AVI tab? AVI... AVI tab. Toggle tablet. Boom. There we go. Charts. Inert step on. Okay. We're going to go ahead and take off of runway 24. Yeah, we'll go 24. That's the direction we want to go anyway. We could take 1.5. Yeah, let's go 1.5. So we'll go ahead. We're over here on the ramp. We're going to taxi out Echo pretty much all the way to the end. We can take Echo Alpha Golf, or we can just stay... Basically, we'll get over there. Not a problem. Alright. Now that I got all that semantics out of the way, let's go ahead and get back to flight idle. See how we're doing. I'll get back to the chat here a little bit. I am going to use my track IR a little bit. Well, actually, I'll try not to, because I know it makes the stream fuzzy, so we'll go ahead and keep it off for now. Let's go ahead and remove the wheel chocks. Parking brake is off. And we are off. One big flappy boy. Hello from India. How's it going, man? I should get my taxi light on as well. We got a couple of yellows we're going to take care of here once we get to the end of the runway. We'll CRJ over there. So when I flew into this airport in the airlines, we'd park right over there. We'd fly Embraers in here all the time. They'd come meet you with the air stairs. Pretty neat little airport. I might have to pick up the Orbix Nantucket for sure. Alright, so here is 1.5. We'll go ahead and hold short here, 1.533. We're going to take 1.5 for departure. Brakes are set. Alright, we're going to go pitot heats on, left and right. Let's go ahead, system, fuel. How's our fuel looking? That's auto. Why does that say auto cell? Ah, fuel selector, auto. That's what I needed. There we go. That got rid of that. We'll keep the inert seps on. We kind of found that out from the last stream. Trevor Harvey says, V1, notice that font colors and the dots and the checklist almost look like the eCam on the Airbus. Yeah, it's pretty close, man. Pretty close. Captain Geo, you're waiting for the honeycomb to be delivered? Nice, man. That's going to be straight juice. You got it. That is juicy, my friend. You're going to like it. We're doing a lot of honeycomb today. We got the TBM and then the Boeing after that. So, all right. Normal takeoff before takeoff procedures. Let's check through this. We would do feather checks. We're not going to do that right now. DI system as required. Flight controls check. Trim set. Belts are on. Strobes on. Everything looks good here. Takeoff distances are checked. Rotation, VR, engines. So, I don't think... Let me see if I can find it here. Menu. No. How do I find... There is a way... Timer reference here. Here we go. So you should be able to set your speeds in here. But I can't yet. This is where you set your minimums on, off, and your VX. But I can't get the cursor in here, which I think is a work in progress. It's known work in progress. So this is where you would set your V speeds under the timer reference key here on your G1000. Unfortunately, we don't have that though. So everything else looks good. Next, we're going to climb out 124 knots. We'll probably make it an even 130. Everything else looks good. Fuel tanks checked. I'm ready to get out of here. You guys ready? Look at this beautiful bird, man. Heat blur coming off there right on that 900. Let's turn the sim up a little bit. There we go. Alright. Brakes off. Let's get out of here. We use up all available runway here. This is where I want to have my track IR on, but I know it can affect the stream significantly. Not bad for an airline guy. Alright, so we are on there. We don't need any ice right now. We'll go... you know what? I'm going to set flaps to take off. I wasn't going to. But because we're using the shorter runway here, because you can do a flap up takeoff. That's But I'm going to do, since we're on the shorter runway, we're going to do flaps takeoff position. Just a little added safety cushion since I'm looking at the end of this runway here. It looks a little bit shorter than I'd like. Hopefully we can get out of here. Let's go ahead and sync our heading bug. And I don't want the... So I got to figure out where's my... There's my flight director kill switch. All right. Let's do it. Spin up the prop there a little bit. Release the brakes. And here we go. Watching that torque. Make sure we don't over-torque it. 93% on the torque. That's just fine. 100 knots. Rotate. Ooh, a little bit of a crosswind there. Wow, she's ready to fly for sure. We're up. Let's get out of here. Trim it out a little bit. I want to try to hand fly this for a while. Get that rudder trim out of there a little bit. Beautiful. Flaps can come up. Now, as far as our flight plan goes, we'll redirect us here in a little bit, but I know we're going to be going southbound, so I'm just hand flying it right now. Let's do a speed hold, heading. Alright, as soon as I get this puppy stable, I'll be a lot more engaged in the chat there. Sorry about that. Have I ever been on DC-3? No, I have not been in a DC-3. I mean, this plane just wants to rocket out of here. Let's go ahead and sync that heading bug a little bit. And I think we can go here. Flight plan, direct, clammy, enter. I love the G1000. I'm going to set it up for nav. We'll spin that heading bug around. Man, she loves flying. This plane just wants to fly. Gotta love it. Alright, so we're just hand flying. We've got the flight director set up to be in nav mode, and we're in a pitch hold at about 138 knots. Excellent. Rickard, you said, should I get the TBM 900 or the Airfoil Labs A350? Oh my goodness, that is a tough decision. So what I would think about first, Rickard, is, do you want glass cockpit or do you want a G1000 like this airplane? This airplane can do a heck of a lot of stuff with the G1000, but there's guys out there, myself included, that likes a little bit, sometimes likes the older cockpits, you know, the round gauge, and being able to look at those dials and all that stuff. So it depends on what you're looking for here as I'm trying to scroll the map range out. There we go. And we go ahead and bump that torque up just a little bit. 86 in the climb should be fine. And I want to lower the speed climb here. How do I want to go, let's see. I want to go speed climb. There we go. There we go. 160. Nope. Oh, there's our... Let's go ahead and get our ice on. Don't need the ice type. I don't want to do 160. I want to do... So I'm trying to adjust. I gotta figure out how to bind this wheel here. It's driving me nuts. There we go. We'll do 140 knot pitch. So it'll come down a little bit. So this over here is what I was talking about. I need to figure out how to bind that. That's one of the hardest buttons to push in this airplane. There we go. Trim it out there right about 143 knots, what I got her set to. We're out of the ice. We go ahead and turn that off. So yeah, do you want to have a G1000 or do you want to have the round gauge? They're both fantastic aircraft, I will tell you that, man. You cannot go wrong with either one. I mean, just listen to this sucker in the flyby view. I mean, it is a fun airplane. They both are. The Airfoil Labs is going to be, I think it's going to be a little bit more work on the pilot just because it's a little bit bigger plane, it's a little bit more airplane to fly, and like I said, you don't have the help of all the glass cockpits, it's all retro instruments. So the one thing that the TBM does that's fantastic, though, is the maintenance tracking. There is no maintenance for the Airfoil Labs King Air. Now, if the Airfoil Labs King Air had the same type of maintenance program that this TBM has, it would be, oh man, I would argue to say that it would be my favorite airplane in X-Plane 11. So I don't know, that's a tough one. There's 10,000 feet. We'll go ahead and turn off some of these lights here. We'll keep nav and strobe on. That looks good. How's our torque? Our torque's dropping off, so let's go ahead and bump that up. We no longer need the inert SEPs. Let's turn those off. I think 92 is max continuous torque. We'll do that for the climb out. How's our wind up here? Man, we're already battling a 50-knot headwind up here. That's not very fun. I might have to get in there and manually adjust that for sure. Jeremy Harvey says, what is the bright red V at the top of the artificial horizon? Oh, yeah, that is the pitch limit indicator. Very similar to the Airbus, like you were talking about. And when does that usually show up? You know, I don't remember in this airplane, in the G1000. I don't know if it's always there. Whoa, we just over-torqued. I don't know what happened there. I can't remember if it's always there in the G1000. I know in the Airbus it depends. You know, it's during takeoff or landing mode, you'll have your PLI drop down depending on the flight configuration. I want to say in the G1000 it's going to stay there for almost the duration of the flight. Maybe it depends on our speed. Maybe if once we get above a certain speed it'll go away. I'm going to go ahead and turn the autopilot on now. We're pretty much cruising. So we've got autopilot set. Nav mode, it's going to do a little bit better. I'm going to do, since we're battling such a headwind here, I'm going to bump the speed out. We're going to go for more of a VY climb. Let's go ahead and speed up our climb. So what's happening, I'm moving this vertical, probably refer to this as a vertical speed manipulator here, but in the G1000 it does a couple things. We're not adjusting vertical speed. What I'm adjusting is the indicated airspeed at which I want to climb out at. So right now I have 148 selected, and if I pop it out you might be able to see it. But I'm trying to, since we're battling such a headwind, 60 knots almost already off the nose. So I'm going to go ahead and bump it up. The airplane has plenty of power. I'm going to do 170 knots. But it's very hard to get the click spot right. So that's why I need to figure out where to bind it. 170 knots, 1,000 to go. Since by definition we're at IFR now, I'm just going to go ahead and set 18,000 feet. How's our systems looking? Everything looks good here. I'll make this a little bit bigger. Everything is in the green. Beautiful. So now you can see the pitch limit indicator went away. So it must be a function of angle of attack. It must be a function of angle of attack. I don't see that red PLI there anymore. Now, if it's too loud for you guys, check this out. We'll just come over here. We'll put our headset on, our Bose headset. How's that sound? That almost sounds too quiet, though. I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you like better, a headset or no headset? We're leveling 18,000 feet here. We'll get ready to do some checks. Got to scroll back some of the chat there. Apologize, guys. I know I was ignoring you there a little bit. Just trying to get the airplane under control. Mike says, how's it going, V1? Just got out of work just in time for the stream. Mike, that's awesome, man. Glad to have you here. Should be a fun one, man. We're just chilling today. I'm really excited for landing in LaGuardia here in the TBM. We'll go down. We'll go VFR down the coastline, do a bunch of illegal low passes. Should be fun. Then we're going to hop in the 7.3 Classic. Carl says there's an app for the torque output schedule for the TBM. Yeah, I'm sure there's one out there. I just figure as long as I keep it below the max, we should be fine. So there we go, leveling off. Alright. Carl, you said, I gotta tell you the truth, I have both, I love both, but I like the TBM better. King Air is a good aircraft, I just don't think for a moment it isn't. Yeah, no, it definitely is a fantastic airplane. I just, the maintenance function of this TBM feels more complete. You know, I just, after everything that's been going on with X-Plane, with my X-Plane in particular lately, I want to fly planes that work. And the TBM just works. I'm so tired of things being bugged out or crashing, unstable. It's really, really starting to bother me here. I'm going to turn my inset off. I never like flying with the inset on. We're level 18,000. Do we have our max continuous torque on here? Max landing weight. I think we have a... no check? No manual? Nope, I guess not. I'm pretty sure 82. Hold on, I gotta see. I don't want to press the wrong button here, so I gotta see. Let's strut reverse. Yeah, there we go. There's our friction lock. That's what I want. Friction lock is on. I'm pretty sure 92 is max continuous. Perfect. There's Clammy. Now we are en route to CCC. Let's do a step climb. Let me look at the wind. I'll look at active skies wind here. See what's the better wind. I do wish I think the wing texture could be maybe just a little bit better. Maybe just a little bit better. Ricard says, yeah, it's hard to choose. It really is, man. German Harvey says, V1, did you see that someone from IXCG actually posted about the 733 and what they're working on? Some things are still broken from when it was Cord X11, like startup sounds. No, you know, I didn't see anything posted about the 7.3 lately. So I'm hoping it still works. I mean, I haven't updated it or anything since the last time I flew it, and the last time I flew it, it worked fine. But if it doesn't work, I'm just going to rage quit X-Plane, because I'm telling you guys, so yesterday I really wanted to stream for you guys. I wanted to stream from like mid-afternoon, so I started prepping around 11:30 in the morning, 12 noon. I was getting ready to stream, and I spent the entire afternoon trying to get airplanes to work. And I lost my patience. I couldn't do it anymore. Between the MD-80, I cannot figure out why it's doing what it's doing. It just will not capture nav mode, and the autopilot does not want to function. And, you know, I'm not typed on the MD-80, but I know how to fly it. I used to fly it a lot, especially when it first came out. And I'm not doing anything different than what I used to do. And I even had my buddy who's flying it right now. He was in the TeamSpeak just before the stream, and I said, let's do everything the exact same, and let me see what happens. We did everything the same from cold and dark, and mine did not want to work properly. No nav track, no autopilot. It's just weird. So I got frustrated with that, and I got frustrated with the FlyJ stuff. So I really hope that the 7.3 will work. Carl says 92% is MCT. Excellent. HG Sim, one of the planes I'm having issues with, the Rotate MD-80 and everything FlyJ Sim. I am aware that FlyJ Sim just posted before this stream that the registration error should be fixed by now. So I'm hoping that after this stream, like I said, everything will work. I'll probably, if I'm feeling up for it, we might do a late night stream in the 727. Because I was really looking forward to doing a Trump shuttle stream. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. I was really looking forward to doing, I'm sorry, not a Trump shuttle, it's a US Airways shuttle. But if you guys remember, Trump shuttle had a 727 on the East Coast, and then US Airways bought the airplane, and registration was Tango Sierra, and it had US Airways shuttle on the side of it. they'd run that up and down the East Coast. So I wanted to fly that down into DCA. I thought it'd be really fun to do the river visual on a 727-200. But we'll see. KLGA says, check the pics in your Discord. Let me take a look, man, as I get ready to do this checklist here. We'll launch Discord. All right, climb speed recommended. We did that. Trims are set. Yaw damper is off, or is on. Lights are off. Throttle is set. ECS panel. Temperature selectors adjust. We can handle all that. DI system as required. Excellent. Next. Throttle adjust. We know that. Gauges check regularly. Cruise engine parameters and data. Excellent. So that's it. That's all we need to worry about until we get to the descent phase. Everything looks good right now. Let me go map. Let me turn the next rad on. I don't know if we have any weather to look for out there. You can turn our airways on. So you can see, you can do airways, but I'm going to do the direct mode. Turn airways off. Turn topo off. I kind of like the black. We don't really need terrain right now. Uh-oh. What'd I do? It says loading. Hope I didn't just screw something up. Oh, there we go. Why is it doing that to me? Interesting. Very interesting. And why aren't we navving? Why are we off course? We're in roll mode. What? Direct activate nav. There we go. I was in roll mode. I do not know what's going on the outside. What is going on with these clouds? What is happening here? Are we like in some accelerated time phase? No, the clock is normal. What is going on, man? Hey, Captain K. Perkins says, just stop by and just say hi currently at school in IT class. Excellent, man. Good to have you here. What is going on with the outside now? Let's zoom that back down. Hold on, we might have some more technical issues upon us. Captain Geo, he said check the screenshot section. I'm looking, man. I don't see anything yet. Oh, Discord pics. Let me take a look. All the way down. Pictures. There we go. Nice, man. Look at that. You got a Frontier 321. What's that? A300 MD11 all white. Man, that's nice. Looking good, man. Looking good. Alright, we need to figure out what's going on here. We have something over there that's happening. I'm just not going to pretend like I don't see it. X-plane, man. X-plane never fails. Let's go ahead and get an outside shot here. There we go. Those are sweet, Geo, man. I like them. How are you going to go to work when you get your honeycomb, though? I'm telling you, you're going to love this honeycomb yoke. Captain Joe says, I need a 727 tutorial with SIVA. I'm literally scared to fly it. You know what? I will probably do a SIVA tutorial here is when I can get the 7.2 running. I mean, it's just I couldn't get it running yesterday, and it's still currently messed up. So if I can get it running, we'll probably do a SIVA tutorial. Maybe not tonight. I will probably just do VOR to VOR, but at some point I'll do a SIVA. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about some SIVA help. But I must admit that the SIVA is the only way to go when you're flying those old airplanes. Whether it's the 7.2 or the 7.3, you gotta have the SIVA. A little bit of an island back there. A little hazy today, a little hazy today. Yeah, Frank, see, I don't know why the clouds are following me. So I've been having a lot of issues. I don't know, I feel like all I'm doing is ranting right now on this stream so far. But I've had issues not just with airplanes, but with active sky. I don't know if it's the 11.41 update with X-Plane, but now that's given me problems. So if problems continue or persist, I'll probably just shut down active sky and see if that helps. But yeah, it's just been... it's been nuts on the X-Plane front for me. I'm getting ready to just take a hiatus or no, a sabbatical from X-Plane and just do some DCS streams. Jeremy Harvey says, I watched the 777X flight. It's a beautiful airplane. I did, man. It is fantastic. I do love the way that airplane looks and those wingtips. Oh my gosh. And the sound, too. Definitely a sweet looking airplane. Dale Smith, you're overflying Casanova right now? On the way to Atlanta. Very good. Very good. Dougal, you're going to call out sick from work when the honeycomb arrives? I don't blame you, man. Speaking of phone calls, or work, if I get a phone call here, I have to answer it, so I apologize in advance. Stunning livery for the TBM. Thank you. This is a custom livery that my buddy Jungly made. If you've been following the streams, you know we did a TBM around the world flight on Project Fly, and he's from the UK and I'm from the United States, so he made this little livery here. We got British flag on the left and then the US Airways on the right. Just look at this TBM though. I mean, this TBM just looks fast, doesn't it? I mean, it looks like it's ready to fly. I don't know what's going on over here. That's starting to worry me a little bit. I've had that issue before. I think it was a Palm Springs stream way back in the day. That flyby, though, holy smokes. God, I can do that all day long. Oof. I really hope that goes away. Turn it down just a little bit so I can hear myself think. Dale Smith says, I thought you're flying the 733, or do you have something else planned? No, we are flying the 733 after this TBM flight. But I was thinking, if my FlyJ sim stuff is fixed, I'm going to try to do... I saw that they posted in their Discord, there's a registration fix that they have up today. If it does end up working, I might do a late night stream in the 7.2, just because I really, really wanted to fly it. I was really bummed that I couldn't get it to work. Daniel says, apologies, this has been asked before. Does the honeycomb yoke work with the SATEC throttle 100? So I don't know if it'll work with the switch panel. I can imagine it does. If you have somewhere to plug it in. I don't know if that switch panel is USB. I know some of the SATEC switch panels have different ports. But I am running a SATEC X56 throttle with my honeycomb yoke. And but they both are their own separate USBs. So I know if you do the switch panel on SATEC, sometimes they have, you know, a round connector pin that you plug into your ProFlight yoke. So you may have to be cautious about that. So I would look into the ports and stuff for connectivity. Paul says, V1, you're an inspiration to us all simmers, and thank you for all your streams. Paul, thank you so much, man. Thank you for those kind words. It helps when I get on stream and I get to interact with you guys, because sometimes I swear, especially yesterday, when everything just seems to not work, I was like, why? Why do I put the time and effort into X-Plane 11 when it just changes so much, it gets bugged, and then I end up streaming with you guys? And it reminds me why I'm doing it. Oh, that's a cool shot right there. There's an island down there. just off the coast of New Hampshire. Or actually, we're probably a little bit further down south now. Ren says, I didn't find my iPad yet? No. But yesterday, I was, here working on the sim, and my phone pinged me, and it said, hey, your Apple ID is trying to be used in Kyrgyzstan, or something like that. And I couldn't believe it, so I immediately just went in there, changed my password and all that stuff. So that leads me to believe that it did get stolen, and somebody's trying to hack into it. Which is a complete shock to me, because that would mean that if my iPad legit got stolen, it was either a pilot or a mechanic. And I mean, I guess it could have, maybe somebody could have got into my bag. I don't know. I don't think they would have. I never leave my bag unattended, but that means a pilot or mechanic, 98% chance are the one that stole it. And I just can't believe it, man. They're just unreal. So, no iPad, man. I still gotta get a new one. But I've been using the hot spares in the room safe. So where are you taking us in the 7.3? It's gonna be it's gonna be from LaGuardia to Washington, D.C. We're going to try to do the river visual in the 7.3. I believe it was Cactus 1549, or was it Captain Tom? I can't remember. One of you guys posted in the Discord yesterday about and showed, I think you would find the Embraer 175 on the river visual. So it's like, hey, you know what? That sounds like a fun approach to do. I want to do it. So we'll do that today. A couple ships out there. Man, it looks good. Another flyby shot here. I don't know what this blue square is all about. Hopefully it's ending right there. Alright, let's hop inside here. Let's make sure everything is kosher. So we're at 94%. We can probably bump that back just a little bit. 207 knots. We have a 69 knot headwind. Holy crap. 14 minutes out from Charlie Charlie. So, you know, with this headwind, I might just go direct LaGuardia. I don't think it's going to be much of a course change anyway. We'll take a look at it here. Everything else is in the green. RPM 2000, NG 97.8. Everything is looking good here. I do hope we have enough gas. We're doing 67 gallons per hour. And we've got about 82 gallons on board, so that's just about 50 minutes of flight time. Let's take a look here at our flight planning. We may need to either slow it down or climb up. Magnus! 20 Swedish kronins. Thank you so much for the donation, my friend. He says, bought 1 TBM in FS Economy, flight it to Sweden. That is fantastic, man. That's awesome to hear. Glad you are enjoying the TBM. Thank you so much for your donation. Grant Cooley coming in right with another $10 bomb. A couple of you guys just donated there right at the same time. Thank you so much. iPad refit. Thank you so much, Rand. I appreciate it. Magnus, thank you as well. Glad you guys are here hanging out with me in stream today. This is I'm getting some buffering here on my stream. I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully that'll go away. Thank you guys. Really appreciate your support for the channel. Alright, so let's... There we go. Perfect. I'm trying to figure out my stream, guys. Give me a second here. It says that it is poor stream status. That is no bueno. Hopefully that'll clear itself out here in a minute. Alright, back to what I was doing here. Let's take a look at our flight plan. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go direct... Actually, no, we'll close that off. let's come over here. And nope, nope. Let's go direct LaGuardia. 89 miles to LaGuardia, 25 minutes till we get there. Oh no, we got plenty of gas. All right, I was thinking we might have to climb up a little bit higher, but then we'd be in more of a headwind. But I mean, you could take this puppy up to, what, 30-something? 30,000, I think? I think you can go in the 30s with this bird. All right, everything looks good there. Let's go ahead and hop back here in the cabin. Nah, I still like the outside view better. Google says it looks fine. All right, we'll leave it. Oh no, YouTube was just giving me a weird warning. Just look at that beautiful 4-poi ortho here on the northeast. Man, that looks good. Ooh, yeah. Alright, so we're going to plan on, let's pull up the chart here for LaGuardia. Make it a little bit smaller. We're going to go charts. There is LaGuardia. So what I'm planning on doing, let's take a look at the weather briefing here. Active sky for LaGuardia is telling me that the weather in LaGuardia right now is 040 at 3, few clouds at 6,000, overcast 7,500, 2982. So it's pretty tame down there. Landing north. So there really isn't a fun approach to 4. I guess we can just we'll do a visual to 4. We'll come down the river and then make a left base into 4. And you know what, since the wind is calm, we could probably just do a visual, the expressway visual. We could probably fly that to runway 7 as well, since the wind is pretty much negligible. They'd more than likely be launching off 4 right now and landing 7. So we'll play that. Plan the expressway visual 3-1 into LaGuardia. Oh, entering some clouds here. Let's go ahead and get our anti-ice on. We're barely in it. We're in and out. I don't think we really need it. Are we accumulating any ice? Nothing right now. Pitot heats are on. Everything looks good, so we'll leave it off for now. Something view I wanted. There we go. That's kind of a cool shot. Ken says, is a TBM 900 too sensitive on the ground? I don't think so. It really used to be. It really used to be, Ken. I don't think it is now. I think they've adjusted it in recent patches. I do know that the nose wheel, I mean, you do not want to attempt to turn until you are at a taxi speed. So I don't even touch the rudder pedals. I mean, I do if I'm using it in the wind, but I won't attempt to turn at all on landing until I'm well within taxi speed. So I'll set her down, just maintain that center line, get the reverse out. You don't need a lot of reverse either unless you're really putting into it a short field. But I'll just use a little bit of reverse, slow her way down to a taxi speed, and then I will begin to turn off. You don't want to try to steer when the airplane is still cooking, 80 knots down the runway. Daniel Smith, you still got 280 miles to top of descent? That's not too far, man, in a jet. Dimitri, ran Cooley positive rates? Absolutely. Positive rates out there. Ran Cooley can get me refit for the iPad. I'm still waiting to figure out how much it's going to cost me. I don't know. Because the company has an iPad buyback procedure where, you only have our work iPad for so many years, or a couple of years, and then you can say, hey, we need them back, where you can buy it for, $100 or less than $100 if you want to. But because I lost mine before that process, I hope they're not going to slam me with a huge buyback fee. We'll see. Dale Smith, flying in the U.S. is painful to you? Why is that, man? Took off from runway 4, was happy not to get a dual engine failure after takeoff. No geese. Hopefully we won't have an engine failure in the IXEG. Because that would be interesting. I have no idea what to do in the 7.3. I would probably just do what I would do in the Airbus. It may end up good or it may end up bad. Alright, let's hop down here. Let's mess around here with this G1000 just a little bit. I wanted to get... Yeah, that just looks good there. We'll go back and system. Let's take a look at our electrics. Essential bus, battery bus, everything looks good there. We are on the main. All green across the board. Fuel is looking good. Balance 36, 37. So we've got the fuel selector switches in auto. So I forget what the time is, but every so often it will switch between left tank and right tank, keep us balanced. That looks good. Fuel remaining 73 gallons, fuel used 48 gallons. So a trick, not really a trick, but what you do is you add your fuel used to your fuel remaining, and that should equal your fuel on board at takeoff. And if it doesn't, you might have a fuel leak somewhere. So that's one thing that we do, especially on longer flights across the country, is you're always scoring fuel and making sure that your fuel is being burned and not leaked somewhere. Not too long ago, there was an airplane that had a fuel leak. I forget where. I think they diverted to Indianapolis or something. But always checking the fuel. That looks good. Generators. General. This is general. Looks good. All right, nav map. So what we could do is go here. Waypoint information. So there's LaGuardia. Shows a breakdown of the airport. There's all your frequencies. This is why I love the G1000. So I believe it was Rick. You were asking, is it, what airplane do I want? The King Air or the TBM? These are all features in the TBM that you're not going to get in the King Air. I mean, this G1000 is loaded with stuff. Your frequencies, your runways, your lat and longs. All right, nearest waypoint information. That's always good to know. We're not looking for that. We can go ahead and skip that. And airport. Let's get out of there. How do I get out of there? Back. There we go. Back to map. Andre Bogdanovsky, man, coming in with a $5 bomb for iPad Relief Foundation. Oh, thanks so much, Andre. I appreciate it, man. Yes, sir. I'm definitely going to be needing that. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the $5 bomb, man. Glad to have you here. Thank you for supporting the stream. As always, you guys are rock stars. All right, back to chart. Wow. So this does have... This is the page I was looking for. So you know how I have our LaGuardia chart here on the Avi tab. This G1000 actually has LaGuardia Airport loaded up default in their G1000. That is pretty cool. Do they have departure procedures? Yes, they sure do. Arrivals? Yep. Approaches? Yep. Now, I'm sure they don't have every airport in the book, but this is still pretty cool that the TBM comes with these charts loaded into their G1000. That's pretty fantastic. That is pretty fantastic. Alright, approach. So we're going to plan on... Is it only one approach? ILS or Loc 1-3? Which chart opt? Previous full screen, night mode. Wow, look at that. You can go night mode on there. This is the copter ILS or localizer to 1-3. We don't want that. Let's go back. Is there a way to change the chart, though? That would be something of interest to me. Let's see. We got to get started about going down here. Look at that. Now we can pick up our charts. So we are going to do the expressway We're going to do the expressway 3-1. Yes. That's what we want. Now, we're in a TBM, so it's not going to be a big deal, but look at that. So we're going to, what I'm planning to do is we'll overfly LaGuardia. We'll come down the East River here as a nice visual procedure. What I'll do is I'll just join left. I'll hit the white tanks, and, you know, in a jet, I've done this before, in a 7.5 and a couple other airplanes we've done it, where we'll just, you know, you track the localizer, hit the white tanks, dials, and transition over. Now in a jet it's a little bit more sketchy because, you know, you're moving a lot faster and bigger airplane. TBM shouldn't be a problem, so we'll come in here hot and heavy, and we'll just pick it up here, follow the expressway, and put it right down onto 3-1. But that is freaking awesome that that's included here on their G1000. I really like that. 8 is freak and everything. Beautiful. Alright, so I'm going to just leave that chart up. I'm going to go back. Excellent. So we know we've got that loaded up. We're going to be visual, how we're looking out there. I'm going to go ahead and step us down so we can see some of this ortho. Let's see if we can get below some of these clouds. Let's do a descent here. Let's go ahead and down to 10,000. What I'll do is I'm going to do a flight level change descent. I'm going to leave the power at 92, but I'm going to set my speed up a little bit. So what's going to happen, I'm increasing my speed over here. The airplane's going to pitch down to meet that. Let's pitch for 220 knots and let's see what the airplane does. Now, as you descend, your torque is going to increase, so you want to make sure you walk that torque back as you descend down, or else you'll end up in an over-torqued situation. As you climb, torque will decrease. As you descend, torque will increase. So you're going to want to be watching that torque as you descend down. Here we go. Let's go ahead and see if we get below some of these clouds here. Oh yeah. I mean, that is fast. Look at that thing moving. Can the G1000 be hooked up with Navigraph? I am not positive. It probably can. I thought I saw... Oh, that's Stratus. That's for this. You can have your little iPad here. I mean, look at this. You can have synthetic vision on your yoke with the iPad. It blows my mind. All right, I'll just keep that off. I'm pretty sure that you can. I don't remember how to get to the page, but I did see a page on here where you can register something, and I'm pretty sure it was asking for a Navigraph registration, and you can load it up. Don't quote me on it, but I think that you can. Alright, so here's our torque. See our torque coming up to 94. I'm just going to keep walking that back. I've got the friction lock on right now, so it makes it a little bit easier to make those fine adjustments. I'm going to set it at 89 with the expected increase there to 82. That way I can look outside. That's pretty sweet. Leo says I'm 13, really want to become a pilot when I'm older. Taught myself the 7.3 and the 8.20. What's the best way to start learning to fly? Leo, honestly, man, you're never too young to start. So if you got a local airport or flying club around you, I would start there. See if you can maybe get into a discovery flight and just kick it off, you know? Get up in a real airplane, make sure it's something that you really want to do. I know I had my first flight on my 13th birthday. So, on my 13th birthday, I went up for my very first discovery flight, and I was hooked, man. That was it. So, that's what I would encourage you to do first. See if you can go to a local airport that's around you and start there. Wow, this is cool coming down here. Dougal, about that like button. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, hit that like button, guys. Help me out. Really appreciate it. Because when you start your flight training, they aren't going to throw you into a 737. Yeah, you're going to want to start small. That's why I say go ahead and just get that discovery flight done first, you know. Flying a sim and everything is awesome, but it is really, you know, there's a lot of differences, you know, from the sim to a real airplane. Or I jump back inside here to make sure the 92 we're still good on the torque. But never too young to start, man. Don't get discouraged. Start early. Go get that discovery flight. Yeah, what doesn't the TBM have? I don't know, man. It's got pretty much everything I can think of. And if you guys already know, I mean, it has shared airframe, so you can park the airplane and leave it in any configuration you want. I mean, you could leave the sun visors, you know, all messed up like this or something, and then share it with your buddy if he has the TBM, and when he loads into it, it's going to look just like you left it. So when I did the TBM around the world with my friend Jungly, we, you know, we would mess with each other, leave the visors down or leave the tray table up or something like that in the back here, you know, and it would render that for the next guy. It was fantastic. I think I told you the story when he moved the pitot covers, or he left the pitot covers off, or maybe, yeah, and just got in the airplane, the pitot system was clogged. So here we can put our oxygen mask on. Now we've got oxygen. Let's go ahead and remove that. I mean, I don't know what this airplane doesn't have. I really don't. All right, we're 9 minutes from LaGuardia. Let's go ahead and reduce torque a little bit, get back down to about 87. I'm going to increase our rate of descent. Let's go ahead and pitch for 230. Down we go. We don't want to be really ripping down, but we're at 10,000 feet. Everything looks good. Carly says it uses the X-Plane 11 data. Okay. I thought there was a way that you could sync it up to Navigraph. I wouldn't be surprised if you could. Dougal, you said you're the only guy who doesn't like the TBM sound? What are you talking about, man? Are you talking about the engine start or just in general? How do you not like this? It is fantastic. You're more of a jet guy then? I don't know. I think if you don't like the sound though, Dougal, here you go. Look, I'll put the headset on for you. Nice and quiet. Nice and quiet. I like to hear my engines though. You might be the only one on stream that doesn't like a PT6. I will tell you that. Always keep that heading bug synced up there, looking good. We're at a 13, descending 10. What's our distance? We're 7 minutes from LaGuardia. Our distance is 28 miles. We should probably start setting up a little bit more here. Show chart. So there is no minimums for the approach. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a reference minimum. I'll set a guideline. We'll turn minimums on, and now you can see Barrow is popped up here on the PFD, and we can set in the altitude. So I'm just going to set 200 feet as a reference for me. We're not going to be shooting an ILS or anything like that. We're just going to go in complete VFR. I'm going to hand fly it all the way down because I just love the way this plane flies. So I'm just going to set a reference of 200 for the minimums there. That looks good. We'll go ahead and turn that off. Now, if you wanted to see synthetic vision, we can do that. But there's really nothing in New York to worry about terrain-wise other than buildings, so we're going to go ahead and just turn the synthetic vision off. But you can have synthetic vision on, you can turn your pathway. I mean, basically, you can have all the information you need right here. It's a fantastic system, but for New York, we don't really need it. I want to try to get below these clouds. Let's go ahead and just come all the way down. Let's come all the way down to 5,000. Active Sky said that it was overcast, or few at 6,000, overcast at 7,500. So yeah, if we get down to 5, we should be able to start seeing some stuff. So that looks good. Let's go back. Let's pull up the checklist. What is our altimeter? It is 2982. So I'm going to change my barrel here. 2982. Excellent. And 2982. And the standby is set. Altimeter settings done. De-ice systems as required. We're looking good right now, but I know we're going to be going into some, so I'm going to go ahead and preemptively turn on the prop and windshield heat. If we start seeing ice on here, we'll blow the boots, but we don't need to blow the boots right now. You don't want to just have the airframe de-ice on before you accumulate ice. The way that the de-ice boots work, you actually want to have ice on the airframe and then pop it off with the boots. If you do it too frequently, you can develop a phenomenon that's called ice bridging. And essentially what that means is as the boots expand, ice is freezing to the airplane and then they retract and you still have this bridge, right? So you have a layer of ice, a hollow area, and then your boot. So when you blow the boots, the ice can't shed from the airplane. Now, a lot of airplanes, they say, oh, ice bridging doesn't exist, you can't really do it, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you from experience, I have seen ice bridging firsthand in an airplane. It does happen. So you want to be very cautious when you're flying with boots as an anti-ice system. And it's not even an anti-ice system. I shouldn't say anti-ice. It's a de-ice system. So you accumulate ice, and then you shed it with the boots. You're de-icing the airplane. An anti-ice system would be what you see on jets, you know, where you have a hot wing or hot bleed air that's keeping ice from accumulating on the leading edge. This is a de-ice system. There's also a weeping wing system where it actually, I believe the Cirrus has it, and it's got a nice clean leading edge, doesn't have a boot, but what happens when you turn on the anti-ice, it secretes a glycol fluid on the leading edge to keep ice from accumulating. So pretty neat stuff. We're at 100% torque. That's very bad on my part here. Let's go ahead and bring that puppy back. Let's bring it all the way back about 85. So just a little tidbit about anti-ice and de-ice there. You said it sounds like a mosquito? Come on, man. You're used to hearing 4 at the same time. Okay. Okay. I'll give that to you, dude. I'll give that to you, dude. That's good. All right, windshield misting protection system, gauges check, passenger briefing, belts and harnesses. That's all good. It says to go ahead and stow that table, so we already stowed it. That's good. Normal procedures for approach. The altimeter's check, the gauges check. We're all green across the board. G1000 makes it very easy to see that. We need to go ahead and reduce power because we are getting a lot closer than I thought. We're only 10 miles out, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that torque back. Fullest tank select, inert SEP switch on. Lights for landing, we'll set that. Beautiful. We'll do all that. Yaw damper off before landing. We'll do it. Next checklist. That's after landing. Perfect. We are ready to go. I'm going to get our lights on here. Nav, strobe. We'll get our landing light on here for when we come or get the landing gear down. A little bit of lag coming through the clouds there. This airplane will show visible ice, so you don't have to worry about it. If you don't see ice here, you're not picking up any. But I do turn the props on just in case. All right, our checklist is complete. We're going to do a visual approach. Inert SEP on, clear caution. Here she comes. Ooh, yeah. I think the LaGuardia is down there. I think we're going to end up overflying by a lot further than I intentionally wanted to. Jude Capitage says, V1, I have a question for you. Can you fly the bigger Airbus jets in real life than the 330 or 340? No, they need different type ratings, even though they are almost identical. You know, you have a couple different systems just because it is a larger aircraft, I'm sure. If anything, I would guess it's just more of the same systems. You know, I'm sure you have a few more buses or a few more this or a few more that. I'm going to go ahead and keep us coming down on the descent, guys. Let's go all the way down to 3,000 feet. How about that for some low-level flying? At a 215 knot descent, flight level change. We're looking good. I think I can start to see LaGuardia up there. But yeah, they do require a different type rating, Jude. Dimitri's got the take note emoji out there. I appreciate it. A little bit of de-ice, anti-ice discussion. All right, there's our 1,000 feet to go. There's LaGuardia right there. There she blows. So what we're gonna do is we won't go down the East River. We'll just, you know what? We're just gonna hand fly it all the way in. So I'm gonna go ahead and take control. I'm gonna go ahead and turn everything off here, autopilot wise. All right, I know. It's because I brought it to idle. Sorry. So LaGuardia is down there to our left. We're gonna kind of overfly the field. I was gonna go all the way down the East River, but you know what? Now that I realize how far it is in a prop, I don't think we need to do it. In a jet, you know, you come down the East River, it happens quick because you're moving so fast. But this little TBM, we can get her down. I'm gonna activate track IR for the approach and landing phase. I hope it doesn't make the stream too fuzzy. But I do love flying with track IR. I'm going to set my CDI needle here. I'm going to go back and CDI I'm going to set that to loc, and we're going to land on runway 31. So I'm going to just set a 310 on the course for reference, sync the heading bug, turn off the flight director, I don't need you. So there's good old LaGuardia down there. And I can see the expressway back there. So we're going to make a loop around New York City. We're just doing this for the fun and the visual aspect of it. We'll take it down to 2,000 feet, or 2,100, level at 2,000. Empire State Building off the nose. Man, we should buzz it. Let's go buzz the Empire State Building real quick. So this long, skinny building right here is, I believe it's actually apartments. And we can see the airport there off our left. Trim it out just a little bit. Let's get some exterior shots here. This is too cool. Too bad it's kind of a gloomy day. Should be 2,000. There we go. So the Brooklyn Bridge is right off the nose over here. My sister lives in one of these buildings over there. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright, let's go land this puppy. Alright, we're level at 2,000. We need to... There's the expressway. I believe that's the one I'm looking for. We gotta go ahead and start slowing down, so... It's one of the things with the TBM. You really want to manage that speed. She likes to go fast. We'll spaz out at the track IR there. We're going to go ahead and descend, start our descent all the way down. That's an outer marker beacon for, I think, runway 31. Or no, that's runway 4, right? Yeah, 4. So there's 4. Let's go ahead and continue reducing speed.
Landing gear.
I know. It's crazy how much smaller you feel with a TBM than you do in a jet. Like in a jet, you're really out there. Like, man, this is a tight approach, and then you know, TBM is, it's not bad at all. I'm inside the expressway right now, so I'm closer to the airport than you would be in the jet. We're gonna go ahead and line up right there. The turn, now there should be, City Field's not modeled. I should get a high quality New York. You can see the terrain now on the map filling in. That's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get the gear down, help us slow down, get on approach speed. We're at 1,000 feet. Speed's coming back 150. We can go approach flaps below 170, I believe, so we're well within. We'll go flaps to approach position. 130 knots, 120. Once we reach the white arc, we're still coming down about 500 feet per minute. A little bit bumpy out here, 800 feet. Flaps to landing. It's going to be a tight turn on. I hope I don't screw this up. I feel high. Let's come down. This is going to be a tight turn on here. So right about, I think last time, what did we do? 90 knots? It felt the best on approach. All right, let's turn her in. And keep coming down.
500.
I know in the jet you want to be about 200 feet on the rollout. Oh wow, I'm way high. Look how fast we turned inside of the runway. Wow, this is weird. Wow, look at that. There's an airplane on the ortho. That's pretty funny. Well, that was a very terrible approach. I mean, it was much easier in a TBM than it is on an Airbus, that's for sure. We're going to land, roll it to the end, we'll land long because the GA ramp is there off the left.
Airspeed.
Oh, yes, sir. So there we go, we're touched down. I'm just going to bump it into like taxi reverse and just let it slow. I'm not going to attempt to steer at all until we're well within a safe taxi speed here. A little bit more reverse, 40 knots. We'll go ahead and bring it out. 35 knots. There we go. We'll take this left turn here and taxi to the GA ramp. Man, you feel so small in this TBM. It's just weird, you know. I've never landed in LaGuardia in anything other than an airliner, so seeing the perspective from the TBM, it's weird. All right, so we're clear of the runway now. We'll go ahead and start cleaning up the airplane. Let's get those flaps up. We're going to go straight across here, and then straight across 4 to the GA ramp, or the MAT. You hear called the MAT, the Marine Air Terminal. We're going to leave all our lights on because we're going to cross another runway. And we'll cross on this side here. Oh, messed up the turn there. Don't hit the taxi lights. So we're going to cross 422, and then we're going to go over here to the GA side. All right, we are here. Do they need different ratings? Yes, you'll have different type ratings. Yes, it is a... You don't want to be flying over Manhattan in real life, Abbas. I think you can, as a helicopter, you can have... There's some special routes you can take for touring, but that's about it. All right, so we're going ahead and we're clear of the runway. Let's go ahead and turn off pitot heats, stall heats. We'll turn off the inert steps. I don't know if they're supposed to be on the ground. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the air conditioning and the bleeds as we get ready to taxi into the ramp. Strobe light come off. Taxi light is on. And this is the GA side over here. I guess I could have made that left over there, but I bet this is an old Shuttle America airplane. Welcome to LaGuardia. I'm going to go ahead and turn this map terrain off because a little distracting there with all that bright red on the screen. Alright, I see a King Air over there. Was this a Challenger right here? We'll kill the taxi light. We'll just park it right next to this King Air. Oh, went in the reverse range. You want to avoid doing that on the ground. You want to keep it in taxi range or beta. Surprised this King Air doesn't have his props feathered. It's a tight fit, but we made it. Set the brake. Flight range. Let's go ahead and feather. We'll go ahead and turn the generator off. Aux pump off. Autopilot trims off. Fuel selector manual. Ignition off. And starter is off. Everything looks good there. Low idle. Let's hear it spool down. Gotta push this door open too. And we'll simulate a cooldown period. Cutoff. Block shutter, no, this is not FS 2020. This is X-Plane 11. Listen to that spool down. Excellent. Crash bar is down. This will shut off here a little bit. We'll go ahead and put the ties and caps on when the engines are cooled. Let's take a look at that replay. And then we're going to get in a 737, guys. So I'm going to go here. Let's disable real view real quick. Oops, not what I meant to do. You can hear the engine popping in the background. That's crazy. Can you hear that? Those pops? Wow. Let's take a look at that landing. So this was on our approach in here. We'll speed this up. There's the landing gear extension. Taxi to signature, Big D1. Yes, sir. All right, let's go ahead and speed this up. So, you know, it was so crazy to me. I'm like, oh, I got to turn final. So in a jet, in an Airbus, we're out here. We're over the highway, right? And we're making our left turn, and you want to roll out. You're pretty much rolling out right here at 200 feet on course. And I was thinking, man, I got to start my turn. I started it right where I would start it in an Airbus about. But I ended up undershooting the final turn by quite a bit. That's just a difference in ground speed. You know, I mean, we're only doing probably 80 knots over the ground right here. Look how much I cut that turn off on the inside, as opposed to doing 140, 160. So we definitely were inside that turn. But we have plenty of runway. Look at that. That's that ortho photo of the airplane shadow. That's pretty cool. And we got her on course. TBM, light GA, not a problem. Let's get her in here. Let's do a little runway flyby view right here. Mosquito sound for Dougal. I don't know, man. That sounds pretty cool to me, though. Jeez. The pitch is so crazy to me. That flat pitch coming in with those big Hershey bar wings. Get her down, flare it out. Ooh, that was nice. Right on center line. Let's see that touchdown one more time. We almost slammed it. We got a little low on speed, but I'm trying to find a good view here. Oh yeah, that just settled out nicely. Nose wheel. All right. Looks like the G1000s are still shut off here on the replay, but that's not a problem. Actually, one more view. Do I have that? Where's that nose view at? Oh, there it is. That's always kind of a fun one. I should have had the AOA up. Left it down. All right. Pretty sweet. All right, guys. So if you're unfamiliar, if you're just tuning in, we are going to load up the IXCG 737-300. I am going to do a quick reboot of X-Plane just because TBM 900's got a lot of stuff going on in the background, and the IXCG is a rather complex airplane itself. So I'm going to throw up the Be Right Back screen. Give me about 3 minutes or so, 3 to 5 minutes to get the airplane ready to go. And I will see you guys on the other side of the break in the IXCG 737-300. Stay tuned. All right. I think we are back at it. Yes, we are. We got it loaded up here. We are sitting at the wrong terminal, but hey, that'll work, I guess. We're at the United terminal here. Nobody will care. But we are in the lovely 737-300 from IXEG. Let me just make sure that we have the proper flight controls set up here. I use the same as the Zebo. Perfect. All right. This is the IXEG 737-300. Fantastic airplane. I'm going to use... Let's go ahead and do some ground services here. Let's connect the ground power. We'll open the cargo doors. And I'm just going to randomize the load sheet. That looks good to me. Well, also what I want to do is some of the engine gauges here. I got to figure out how to change. I want to go to the old school preferences. So I want to use... aircraft has winglets, no. I want rain, ice on windscreen, yes. Use steam gauges, yes sir, that's what we want. And I don't want to put draw vortices on because that causes a blue weird glitch that happens. So draw vortices is off. Everything looks good right there. Alright guys, this is an Airbus pilot to a 737 in a complete cold and dark airplane, so bear with me here as we go about this. If I'm doing something wrong, like always, guys, go ahead and let me know so I can fix it. But let's go ahead and jump up to the overhead here. First thing I want to do is we're going to get the batteries on. We'll go ahead and arm the emergency exit lights, turn on the logo light and the position light. Ground power is available. Wow, that is loud. Let me go ahead and turn that down just a little bit. Alright. We've got ground power on the airplane now. Everything is spooling up here. Back to the overhead. I'm going to go ahead and get the... Just go down the left-hand side here. I'll leave the yaw damper off for now. Fuel pumps... I think we need, what, is it 1 aft for the APU? Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you don't even need them for the APU. We'll go ahead and spin that sucker up. Let's see, battery power, TR1, battery bus. I want to put this on generator. Nope, ground power, there we go. AC volts, I can check that. Galley power is on. APU is coming to life. Cosmic, have to go to the shops and be back shortly. Thank you. Have a good one, Cosmic. Good to see you here. Alright, APU is spooling up just fine. There, APU gen off bus, and trip it over. We are on the APU bus now. Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and call this. We can go ahead and disconnect the ground power. I don't know why I plugged it in. I guess I didn't. I should have just done a battery start. But that looks fine. Now, let's come up to the ADIRs. I thought I had a camera view up here. I guess I don't. So I'm going to put these straight to nav mode so we don't have to wait forever. Get the alignment started. Stall warning. Test there. Flight recorder. Test is normal. Mach overspeed warnings. It looks good. Passenger masks are good. Work down. I think I skipped that one. Leading edge test. Put that in a bright mode right now if it makes a difference. These come on, I think, what, 10 minutes before takeoff, so I'm going to leave them off right now. That all stays off for now. Seatbelts, since we're boarding, we'll go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign on. Landing elevation, as I come down to the bottom of the panel here. Landing field elevation, DCA. I know it's pretty close to sea level, isn't it? Field elevation 14 feet, so we'll go ahead and scroll that in here. Right in the middle, about 14 feet. That looks like 14 feet. Flight altitude, we're going down there at 24,000 feet. It's going to be a relatively short flight, so we're going to keep that at 24. Cabin altitude 4,000. Standby, that's in auto. We're in ground mode right now. We'll make sure to put that into flight mode once we take off. Let's go ahead and get some air conditioning here as we're waiting on the ground. Why can't I adjust that pack? I want you into auto. There we go. Auto. Passenger supply. Let's warm everything up here. Let's see what we got. What's our duct temp? 9C. Passenger supply temp. 8C. We're warming it up here. It's a cold day in LaGuardia for sure. That looks good. Cargo doors are open. Kiku says, hi V1, I don't know if I've been chatting here before, but I'd like to say that I've watched you a while and I love your content. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Glad to have you here on the stream. Glad you'll be able to communicate with me live here on a live stream. Daniel Palvic says, are there different buttons switch on the 733 similar enough to the 320 to let you know what to do, or have you read through the manual? Yeah, Daniel, you know what? Honestly, I get this question a lot, especially if I'm in a 7.3. You know, I'm not type rated in the 7.3 in the Boeing, but if you are type rated, that's hard to say. Once you've been flying airliners, you know, once you have a couple type ratings under your belt, you begin to understand that in a general sense of things, every airplane is doing the same thing. There's just a different way of doing it and getting there, right? So we're all going to finish the same race. It's just you might take a little different route here and there. That's kind of what the the differences are. Now there are definitely some quirks in the 7.3 that I'm not too familiar with or whatnot. Kind of like this fuel pump thing here. I didn't know if you needed one pump on or not. I guess you don't need any pumps on for the APU start. It's very similar to the Airbus, but once you've flown a couple airliners, yeah, you realize that they're all pretty much doing the same thing. I mean, you watch, if you're familiar with Flight Deck to Sim, he did a fantastic stream in the Airbus into London City. And I mean, he's never flown an Airbus, but he's an airline pilot, right? So he knows how things are supposed to work because he's seen it, he's done it before. So you kind of get that idea. Of course, there's going to be things here and there that you mess up because it's something that's specific to an airplane, but hopefully it's enough to at least get you through it. Now, when you start talking about the older aircraft, like the 727 and MD-80 and things like that, whew, now it's definitely a difference. So, Gerald McKinley says the reversed U.S. Airways flag is bugging you. Reversed flag on the tail. Reversed flag on the tail. Is it not right? Oh, yeah, wait. Yeah. Yeah, that does look weird. Might have to make another one, Gerald. Alright, so we're in here. Let's go ahead and get back down to our FMC. Whoops, I apologize for that camera flicker there. My nav data is a little bit out of date. That shouldn't be a problem. We're going to go pause init. I'm going to go reference airport LGA. What gate am I at? I'm going to just take the GPS position here instead. Set IRS. We're going to go route LaGuardia to DCA. Boom. Route. We're going to departure off of... Jeremy Harvey says Boeing recommends you have the left aft pump on. Okay, so I knew it was something. Left aft. So I was close. I had the aft for me. I didn't have the left or right side. Left aft pump for APU. Got it. That's an interesting camera view. I don't know why I have that bound. Alright. Departures. So let me update the route of flight here. Robbie Williams, what's up, V1? What's up, man? Good to see you here. Stuart Payne, V1 going old school. Yes, sir, I am. I'm trying to go old school here. We'll get through this here. Let me update the route here. I need to go to... I'm typing here on a different screen. I'll pull up the route that we're taking out of here. LaGuardia to DC. Let's see. Oh, they have us Biggie J75 Modena Clipper 2. So I'm just going to do LaGuardia 5. We're going to depart 3-1, which is basically a vector departure. Activate that. Execute. Then we're going to go back to route, and we're going to go LaGuardia 5 vectors to Biggie. B-I-G-G-Y. Now, I know my nav database is out of date a little bit, but direct Biggie. Hopefully that'll work. And then we're going to go J75 all the way to Modena. Execute, and then we're going to load up the arrival for the Clipper 2. And we're going to load in the LDA. We want to do the River Visual 1.9. Let me see what the weather is here in DCA. Let's take a quick look. KLGA, KDCA. Update that. So in DC right now, 170 at 8, perfect. So we can expect a River Visual 1.9. So I'm going to load in the RNAV 1.9. Let me look here. River Visual 1.9. I'm going to load in the RNAV just to see off of Fergie. And basically what that's going to do is that's going to give me just something as a reference to look at, but we are going to do the river visual when we get down there. All right. After our route is in there, we're going to go back to the init ref. Let's see, route, takeoff. We're going to leave that disco in there because I'm going to wait for the alignment, and then we'll go through that. We'll do a flaps 15 takeoff out of here. And what we need to do is, hold on, I need to go init. Where is my performance? Perfinite. There we go. I got there. Alright, I found it. Now, can we just click here? No, we have to input them. So our zero fuel weight is 112.7. That looks good. Reserves, we're going to take... Oh, I hope we have enough gas. 17,000. That should be enough. Reserves, we're going to take 2.0 on the reserves. Cost index of 20, we'll keep that. I know IMDimitri likes Alaska Airlines, and they like cost index 1.5, so we'll do cost index 15. Cruise altitude is going to be 24,000. Cruise wind, ISO deviation, that's all fine. We'll go ahead and execute that. We're going to do a 20K takeoff, climb, not going to derate, right? So actual is 20K, perfect. So now I can come here, and I should be able to get V-speeds, right? QRH on, there we go. V-speeds loaded. Trim 3.4 on the stab, so I need to figure out how to move my trim. There we go, 3.4, that's close enough. 3.4 on the trab with the flaps 15 takeoff. Excellent. I think we're pretty much getting there. Dimitri says Tom Kyler is working on bringing this bird up to speed with X-Paint 11.41. Tons of goodies to come in the next couple of months. Not too soon, or not soon enough if you ask me. Yeah, man, I am excited for this airplane to be updated. I love it the way it is, just because it's one of my favorite classics. But absolutely, when they get an update on here, man, this will be fantastic. Maybe we'll get some wing flex or something. Maybe we'll be able to open the doors finally. But I do know that this airplane has potential. I really think it has potential. So I know we have the Zebo, but there's something about an old classic short stubby 737 that I just love, you know? Especially without the winglets. I don't like winglets. Do I have my wing views set up? Because we're going to need some wing views for this flight. Perfect. So I remember as a kid just flying on these old classics and seeing this, I guess it's the position light housing right here. Just a very memorable shape here on the wing. I mean, it's very distinct, and I always knew when I sat down that this was a short airplane. Plus, you've got these little weird flap shape here that goes down over the flap fairing. So I love this bird. I think it's going to be fun, especially if they get it updated. All right, looks like our ADIRs are aligned. Let's go into plan mode here. Oh, let me see. I used to have these bound. There we go. I'm finding my bindings about me. There's plan mode, and there is the zoom function. All right, cool. So let's go to legs mode real quick and step through this flight plan. We're going to take off 3-1. It's going to be a radar vector to Biggie, Copes, Modena, and then we're going to just go from Modena to I. So we're going to close that up there. Let's go ahead and step through that again. Biggie, Copes, Modena, vectors, with the Clipper arrival all the way down. That looks good to me. And then it has the RNAV, which I can zoom in here, starting at Fergie. Now, we're not necessarily going to follow the RNAV because we're going to be on the river visual, but that's good enough for the 1.9. So our route looks good. We can go ahead and go back to regular mode. Where is it? Right there. And we'll zoom it all the way in. The 3.1. Perfect. So init ref, N1 limit, takeoff mode, 3.4, 22% CG. I think that looks good to me. Let's run a checklist and get ready to get out of here. Pre-flight, pins and covers moves, oxygen. Tested. Instrument transfer switch, normal window heat. Oh, that's right. That now would be the time to go ahead and do our flow. We'll get our window heat on. Pitot-static is on. Hydraulics are set, electric on, and those are off. Wait, no. Electric off. They need to be off for pushback, I think, right? That's one of those things you might want to correct me on. I think hydraulics need to be off for pushback. Set air conditioning and pressure is set. Right now we got the air conditioning running. Flight instruments set. Engine start levers cut off. Rudder to 0. Taxi complete. Fuel pumps is on. Passenger signs are on. Auto brake is going to be RTO. FMC pre-flight takeoff speeds, MCP V2 heading and altitude. So let's go ahead and set that in here. We're going to take us straight up to 240. So I'm not messing around today. Straight up to 240. Heading, we're going off of 3.1, so I'm just going to set 310 on the heading. And our IAS Mach, we'll set V2 plus 10, 155. Perfect. So that is set. Before start, windows, doors, and slides closed, arm, anti-collision, and transponder. All right, so let's go ahead and close up those doors. Ground services, close them up. We'll verify on the overhead here. Those lights go out. We'll go ahead and get the packs off. Bleed is on. Recirc fan, I'll put that into auto. Ray door full open, that's normal. How's our temps? We'll go ahead and back them off a little bit. And we don't have any fuel in the center tanks, so I don't think we need center pumps on, right? That is correct. So we no longer need the center pumps on. Let's call for pushback. So here in Garbage, we're going to push back to here, and then we're going to tug forward to here.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Let's start it. Robbie, you said you always have problems fueling this plane? Interesting. I've just did a random fuel and a quick load, and that's 17,000. I haven't had an issue with it, but I'm trying to remember. I feel like I have had issues as well with the fuel. But we'll do a lights test here anyway, just make sure everything works. Look at that, pretty beautiful. Everything looks good there. Lights test, engine oil quantity tests. Those gauges are working there. I love the old fuel use reset. I should have done that earlier, but that's done. Everything else looks good. Weather is off for now. I'm going to put you in legs mode, and I'm going to put the FO's EFIS into that mode right there. Perfect. Let's go ahead and turn the floodlight on. Oh, where's the floodlight?
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
There it is. That flicker of light. Oh, you know why? It's because I have it on the overhead. I'm going to turn you off. Maybe this got a little bit bugged. This used to work a little bit differently. Oh well. Oh, that's the background light. Never mind. There we go. Look at the flicker. That's the detail I'm talking about. Get this yoke out of the way here.
Bypassed and inserted. Release parking brake.
The flicker of that incandescent bulb. Alright, brakes release, you're clear to push.
Starting pushback. And you may start engine.
Let's go ahead and make sure our checklist before taxi. We'll do that after. So we're good to go. We're starting our pushback. Let's get out of here. Slam Cannon says, V1, what's going on, boss? Can't wait for these juicy classic sounds. You and me both, Slam Cannon. You and me both, man. The aircraft brick says, hey, V1, the small thing at the wingtip house is the logo light. Love your streams. Keep it going. Awesome. Oh, wait, what? The wingtip houses the logo light? So you're telling me that this houses the light for up here? Is that what you mean? It's not in the tail? I can kind of see that. Let me see. Oh gosh, I zoomed way past it. So that right there, that's the light that shines on the tail? Dude, that is too cool. That is too cool. I never knew that. I never knew that. That's awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and... He's pulling us forward. We'll go ahead and start engine 1. So... Oh, I'm sorry. We'll start engine 2. We've got bleed pressure. Everything looks good. We'll go ahead and ground 2. I should have turned my beacon light on. There we go. Our pressure's dropping. Listen to that. Oh my gosh, man. We're going to max motoring, I believe. Right about there, and... Whew. That is juice.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
There you are. Brake set. Clear to disconnect. Thanks for push. See you next time.
Connecting tow. Stand by.
We got a good start on engine number 2. Let's go ahead and start engine 1. So if you open this door and I crank engine 2, you'll hear the bleed pressure. You hear that? That's the bleed valve opening. Disconnecting hand signals. Have a good one, sir. Man, I love the sounds of this airplane. Vertical sim in the house. Alright, it's getting a little loud in here. Vertical Sim $2 bomb. He says, hello, hope all is well, and Dougal is a funny guy. Vertical Sim, how's it going, man? Thank you so much for the $2 bomb. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Glad to have you here. Dougal is definitely a funny guy. Thank you for supporting the stream. Appreciate it, man. Alright, we're spinning up engine 2. Here we go. Looks like we got a good start on 2. We'll go ahead and trip the buses. Archaic way of doing things, Boeing, but hey, it's the way they want to do it. Yaw dampers on. We'll get our hydraulics on. They are clear below. APU bleed is off. Packs to auto. That comes on. Isolation valve auto. Flight mode and the pressurization. I think we are looking good, folks. We're going to set flaps 15, so... Flaps are coming out. Yes, sir. Have I ever flown in Sweden in real life? No, I have not. I've heard it's beautiful, though, and I've seen some pictures. I would love to. Flaps are so slow coming out on this old Boeing, for sure. Slats are down. Oh, yeah, look at that. Freaking love it. We got to make sure that is flaps 15. No, that was 5. Maybe 15 is a little much. I wonder if 15 is a little bit much for this airplane, but we're going to do it anyway. That is cool. Alright, recall checked, and let's do a B4 taxi. Generators on, pitot heat is on, anti-ice as required, packs auto, isolation valve is in auto, start switches, continuous. Recall check, start levers idle, flight controls check, ground equipment removed, flaps APU as required. Before takeoff, flaps set green, trim, set, cabin call given. We are ready to get at it here, folks. Taxi light on. Let's do a quick flight control check. Make sure I don't hit my microphone. There we go. Beautiful. I love it. I absolutely love it. Taxi light is on. Oh. Oh, we're going to 3-1 today, so we need to make a left turn here. Alpha Foxtrot Bravo to 3-1 for Cactus 519. I think that sounds right. Here we go, folks. We'll make the right here for Fox. Big D1, you thought that Vertical Sim and V1 were the same person? Nah, man, Vertical Sim, he's got some great airports out. I love his MSY. It's one of my favorite add-on airports in the sim. Hear the tires crinkling under them. That's great. She's a beaut. Jeremy Harvey says, in case you didn't know, this airplane does have a complex failure system and interactions model. Captain Vogel demoed these during development. Excellent. I think I have seen the failure option in the little checklist area. I mean, I love it, man. Those engines, the leading edge slats on the old classic 7.3 is one of my favorites. Come back to me, Airbus. I miss you. I feel like I'm cheating on my Airbus right now as we taxi off centerline and take off the nose cone. The aircraft brick says, yep, they're not in the tail. The 737 only is the, or the classic 737 is the only one that has that. Worked on both classic and NGs. If you have any questions from Mechanic Eye Point, just happy to help. Aircraft brick, absolutely, man. Thank you so much for letting me know that. I had no idea. You know, all the time I spent looking here at this logo light housing, man. That's fantastic. That is so cool. I love that. Let's try not to take out all the taxiway lights here on LaGuardia. Vertical Sim says, wait till Tampa. It's your hometown, so I won't be disappointed. Hey, man, I spend a lot of time in Tampa. My wife actually has family there, too, so I go to Tampa frequently for work and for pleasure, man. So if you get a Tampa out, that would be exciting. All right, we're going to go full length here. Oh, this is runway 4. Oh, my gosh, I totally screwed up, guys. What did I put in the box? 3-1? I did. I think I put 3-1 in the box. Great. Well, we're going to change our departure runway to runway 4. I think we can get away with it here. We'll go ahead and stop. Brake set. Let's go ahead and take a look at our departure runway. Oops, that's not the view I wanted. That's the view I wanted. It's going to change things here. Departure. Runway 4, LaGuardia 5, execute, legs, vectors, biggie. Let's look at this plan view one more time here. I screwed it up, so I'm going to have to change our V-speeds too. So, biggie, Copes, Modena, okay, no, that's still in there. Wow, it doesn't create a disco there like it does in the Airbus. That's actually something that I like. Init ref, N1, takeoff. Our speeds are a little bit different. 37, 38, 44, 3.4 flaps, 15. Alright, so everything else looks good. We're set up for runway 4 now on departure. Let's do it. Brakes off. Light them up. Oh, you know what? I forgot to get the overlay going for that. That's alright. Let's turn them all on. Flight director's on. Alright, you guys are going to have to help me, though. Where is the toga? Where are the toga buttons? Is there like a hidden click spot for that? Or do you have to bind it? Sometimes I know it's right on the clock or something. Let me know where that toga push button is. I'll check my bindings too here when we get lined up. Man, short, stubby 7.3. I love it. We're going to do a big airplane turn here. See if I can do it from the exterior view. Go about 3 lanes over. 1, 2, 3. Hard right. Use up all available runway. Might have overshot that one a little bit. That was my A321 turn on. Let's see. Yep, I'm a little bit too far to the left. Let's think. A little bit too far to the left. Not a problem there. Alright. So, toga, push buttons, auto throttle arm, and LNAV. VNAV, we don't do that on the ground. That's right. So, the toga push button is it the clock? Let me know. I'm going to check my bindings real quick. Engage toga power. Anybody got an answer? I'm going to hold position here real quick. N1 button. I press the N1 button? I believe N1 should be your toga. Okay. Alright, let's do it. We're going to spool them up. Saratoga. Wow, listen to those sounds. My goodness. Oh. Eight knots, rest set, throttle hold. Match up the throttles there. Man, I love this. V1. Rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Whoa, they're a little aggressive on the takeoff. Oh, you know what? I have the wrong heading because we took off of runway 4. Oh, you know what? We'll make a left turn. Screw it. We'll make a left turn around the city. Screw it. There's our acceleration altitude, LNAV, VNAV, N1 VNAV speed, LNAV. I'm going to actually select heading though, and we're going to come left. Let's come left to 300. Flaps 10 or 5. Whew. We're coming around. We'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Look at that, with New York in the haze there, some condensation. That is too cool. We'll go ahead and flaps 5. Come further left now, heading 240. Flap 0. I can't get enough of this flyby view. Man! She's cleaned up. Oh, we're going to end up going right down the river. And this is all hand flying, guys. I'm loving this honeycomb right now. Showing out, overspeeding just a tad there. Man, that is cool. I hope the visibility is a little bit better in DC. Alright, let's go ahead and get the autopilot on. Command A. Or VNAV heading select. I think after takeoff we gotta get these lights off, right? No, I forget which lights are on the... Oh, you know what? They're all internal, aren't they? They're not like the Airbus. Landing gear on board. Oh well. See, that's something there that I, not being a Boeing guy, I'm unfamiliar with, but it's not going to make or break the flight. So Big E is going to be about a heading of 270. Actually, it's going to be about 25-ish, 255. We'll continue to turn at 255. Let's do an after takeoff checklist. Bleed air is on. Let's just verify everything here. Bleed air is on. Cabin is climbing. PAX auto. Landing gear up and off. Oh, that's a Boeing thing. We got to turn the landing gear thing off because it's 1979. Flaps are up. No light altimeter set. All right. Jeremy Irvin says the fix info page works, so use it. Alright, so one thing I do know is that this thing, or this Boeing FMC, when you do a direct to, it gets a little bit iffy, so you gotta, spam it. There we go. Direct to Biggie. And LNAV. There we go. VNAV speed, LNAV, Command A. We are rocking and a-rolling, folks. I'm not gonna lie, flying this 7.3 Classic is a lot of fun. I know it wasn't voted for in the retro stream, but now that I'm in this airplane and I'm listening to the sounds and the immersion, it is a lot of fun. My goodness. There's my Waterloo script back there. Thank you, Dimitri. Look at the dirt here on the wings. Just the, I mean, and this is an older airplane too. It's got, this is so true to the real airplane. Right behind these, so these little tabs here, a little lesson here for you guys as well. These are called vortex generators, and they help stabilize the airflow, the laminar flow over the wing. But you can tell though after rain and dirt, you can really see where the airflow is on the top of the airfoil here. And that's true to real life. You see that a lot on these airplanes, these old airplanes that have these vortex generators. Or, not vortex generators, they're, are they vortex generators? I think they're called, they're not true vortex generators, because a vortex generator destabilizes the laminar flow. So I can't remember what the name of these are, but they do have a name, and they are there to stabilize the laminar flow over the top of the wing, especially at high angles of attack. So if the airplane begins to stall in an airliner, you want it to stall at the wing root first, because you want to be able to have use of your ailerons, right? So if it's stalled at the wing tip, you wouldn't have any control of your ailerons to help you recover. So, little fun fact there for you. I'll think of that name. There's 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and get the lights off. It looks like we are in pretty hard IMC, so we might have to get the anti-ice on. Let's go ahead and go engine, anti-ice, and wing. All these lights are off. We'll go ahead and turn the logo off and the wing light off. How are we looking? We're 12. Climbing 240. Things are looking good. Big D1 says I was finally on an Airbus when the pilot reduced power after takeoff. The battle made me think something was going to break. Nah, man. That's normal. Sometimes you get those big differences between your flex takeoff and your climb N1, so you'll hear that big reduction. Or maybe he was doing a high power takeoff. There was a low flex takeoff, so a high N1, but your climb N1 is significantly less than your takeoff N1, so that's when you hear those big power reductions. I love the trim sound. Man, it's nice. Nick M, yeah, making the Soli climb. Listen to that flyby. That is... I'm sorry. That's the best flyby sound in the game, in the sim. Changed my mind. Changed my mind on this flyby sound. That's hard to beat. That is hard to beat. Yes, Timothy, I will show you how to do the river visual into Washington National. I guess I could have turned the weather radar on, huh? So I know I gotta go there. Well, that's terrain. We don't need that. So we're gonna go weather on there, and then I come down here and I go WXR. And there it goes. Now it's gonna start painting the weather for us. I checked on the next rad though. It's not much. This is just clouds. Just clouds, so it should be alright. Outside air temp is 2.3, negative 2.3. So pretty chilly. Definitely some icing conditions. I'm trying to find it. The unfortunate thing is these window shades are pretty ugly, so the window textures are pretty ugly. So you gotta try to hide from those. Okay, so they are vortex generators, Carl. Okay. It is vortex generator. Alright, just making sure. Slam Cannon says, no vacuum sound on that flyby. You're absolutely right, man. Let's listen to it again as we break through the top of the clouds here. Whew. Unreal. She is a beauty. Look at that. U.S. Airways in her glory. Aircraft Brick says, tip, never switch off the engine hydraulic pumps unless in an emergency. Okay, can burn out the electrical solenoid. On is no electric, power off is constant electric, power on. So Ah, okay, so never switch off engine hydraulic pumps. You got it. I will. Daniel Smith says the 732 has a better flyby sound. Alright. Let's see. Let's do another one. Alright, I'm going to crank it for you guys here on this next one. So I'm going to let the airplane fly away. Now, if you're a headphone user, use caution. I'm going to bump this up a little bit here. I'm going to bump this up, and we're going to do a loud flyby, alright? Uh-oh. A little bit of lag there. It scared me for a while. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at it. There's 19,000, we're above it, so we'll set 290902. Set once. You know what, I'm going to turn the weather radar off just because we're not painting anything, and I think it does eat a little bit of frame. So I'm going to just turn it off. So weather radar is off. We're still tracking on course to Biggie. How's your altimeter? You need a manual set, right? Wow, you're on 3024. You're way off. This FO is... must be a new hire. 2992. So we got STDs for you, me, and the jump seater. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Winging It says all planes have personality, only some have soul. That is a fantastic saying, Winging It. Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. I'm still trying to find that juicy view, you know? We'll come up here. Oh, that's a pretty good one right there. I'm going to lock that one in. Maybe a little bit more... that. Too bad we can't see all that ortho down there. Okay, Carl, yeah, so those particular ones are leading edge vortex generators. Alright, so I was right. It is vortex generator. I thought, yeah, some of them they're different models, but yeah, I guess they are vortex generators. But yeah, they do help with the laminar flow over the top of the airfoil there. Jeremy Harvey, how does this... Issa's in the house. Sorry, I missed your chat there. Issa. I hope I'm saying it right now. Hello, how's it going? Good to see you here. And Jeremy Harvey says, how does this airplane feel to hand fly? By the way, is this flyby is even better than the Zebo. I think this flyby is a little bit better than the Zebo. I'm not going to lie about that. And how does it feel to hand fly? It's fantastic, man. I hand flew that departure pretty much all the way out until we were pretty much nothing left to see down there. So it hand flies awesome. I think it's one of the best hand flying airplanes in the sim. But you know, it's hard for me. I guess I gotta turn this auto brake off here. It's hard for me to really give you, oh, it's so real, because I've never flown a 737-300. But just from what I think it would feel like, it flies very well. And you combine it with the honeycomb yoke, it's fantastic. This is one airplane that I know I talk a lot about the honeycomb yoke having that stiff pitch, stiff pitch area on the yoke, and it's really hard to make fine adjustments. For some reason, I don't know if it's the dampening, because I don't have anything set up differently, curves or anything like that, but for some reason on this airplane, I don't really feel it's as dramatic. You know, it's easier to hand fly smooth in the pitch column with this airplane. I know in the 7.2 and the 7.3, even the MD-80, pretty much any other airplane in the sim, I struggle with that pitch being too stiff, and it really makes it hard to make smooth adjustments. For some reason, the 737-300, it's still there, it's a little bit off, but it feels way better than all the other ones. Big D1 says would look better if it was America West. I agree, Big D1. I'm still waiting for Gerald McGinley to finish up the Airbus 320 Classic America West livery. When that sucker gets out, we're going to be streaming with that. I don't know. I haven't looked. I have an America West livery for this airplane, but it's the... what's the name of it? The turquoise green one. I have that one installed. But I would like an old school America West on this one too, that baby blue. I can't remember what all the names are for them, but I slightly agree with that. Although I did fly the US Airways 73 Classic a lot up and down the East Coast just before they retired them. It's always deadheading on them and stuff. Alright, here comes 24,000 feet. Autopilot should level. Yes, she is. Fantastic. There's 240. We'll go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off. We are now free to move about the cabin. I guess I'll leave those on continuous. How's everything looking up here? Temps 25C across the board. That looks good. We no longer need the anti-ice. We're going to turn that off. Let's take a look at our systems down here. Engine instruments. Oil quantity is good. Vibrations are normal. Oil pressure is good. Hydraulic quantity over here. That's good. Always keep an eye on that. And 7,000 on each side. Fuel is burning equally. Perfect. Let's sink our heading bug. So let me zoom out here. We got a TOD. Alright, let's find a nice view to park ourselves for this cruise portion of the flight here. Oh man, that looks good right there. Oh. Yep. Dale Smith, so I landed in Atlanta and I forgot to install the Nimbus scenery. Oh man, come on now. HD Sim says 105 watching, only 65 likes. Come on, guys. Hit that like button for V1. I appreciate it, guys. Smash that like button for me. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free, I promise. The 733 is a bit sensitive for you, Daniel Smith. Interesting. Do you fly with Honeycomb, or do you have a different yoke that you fly with? I know you're always flying that Zebo gun. Issa says, saying it right, V1, you seem to be quite behind the chat. I came in a few minutes ago. Yeah, sorry, man. I definitely get behind there during the takeoff phase, but I'm trying to catch up to it. I think I'm only a few down. Daniel Smith says, the line heading bug, the ND is a head-up display. Yep. I know, it drives me nuts, man. No heading bug sync on there. Austrian 279, how's it going, my friend? Ooh, Old Continental, Big D1. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. We'd have to be taken off out of Newark, though, or going to Dulles. Thank you for the subscription there. I missed it, Pedro. Thank you for subscribing. Glad you enjoyed the content here. Saba, hey V1, just a quick question. How does the aircraft know how much fuel was pumped into it? So the aircraft has fuel gauges, 3 gauges, left tank, right tank, center tank. And when you reload it, or when you refuel the airplane on the ground, it can tell how much fuel has gone into the tanks, essentially. So if you're talking about how do you know how to set it, I just do it here on the main menu here. When you scroll over, you have ground services, and you can set your fuel load. So you say, hey, I want to take 17,000 pounds of fuel, and it will begin fueling. Now the aircraft will, the gauges in the tank, they're not the old float bobber type systems that you would think of in some of the old pistons and stuff. The fuel gauges are actually pretty complex in modern jets, so they don't have, it doesn't affect them when you're sloshing left and right. A little bit it will. Sometimes you'll get some inaccurate readings, but only by a couple hundred pounds or so. But the fuel quantity reading system, especially on the Airbus, is a pretty advanced system. It's not just an old bobber in there floating around. I can't think of the names of the sticks, but essentially there's like pencil-looking things that are in the tanks, and it measures where the fluid is, and then there's separate parts of the tank that take measurements, and it averages it out. It gets pretty complex when you really look into it. Carl Cho says there are sensors. Yep, measure the volume. There is also unusable fuel. Yep. 1 to 3%. That is correct. Austrian 279, I'm doing just fine, man. Thanks for asking. Glad to have you here. Welcome aboard. Daniel Smith, you have the Satec yoke? Alright. Satec was a great yoke, man. And you know what? That Satec yoke I had, it did not have that stiff problem in the center. I hate calling it a problem. It's not really a problem. It's just the honeycomb yoke is just more stiff than I anticipated it to be. Stan coming in with the 10 British pound, 10 British pounds. Loving the streams, V1. Superb stuff. Been following for some months now. In awe of the deep knowledge. Great to watch. Have learned so much. Keep becoming epic. Thank you so much, Stan. Thank you for that that $10 pound donation. Thank you for supporting the stream, hanging out with me here in chat. It is awesome to have you aboard. I am so happy that you guys are still enjoying the content. That makes me very happy. When you guys are enjoying the content and learning, that's just, you know, that's why I'm doing it, you know? This is not my number one job. This is not my day job. I do this because I want to share my knowledge with you guys, and when you guys are excited about it, it just makes it all worth it. So thank you so much, Stan. Glad to have you. Philip says, finally back and able to watch all streams and also fly in my sim. Hope you're all doing well. Excellent, Philip. Austrian 279 has a point there, Daniel Smith. The Satec yoke does only go 45 degrees, I think, left or right, where the honeycomb yoke does have a 90-degree travel in the roll. The honeycomb yoke nailed the roll, no doubt about it. The roll in the honeycomb yoke is spot on. If you like dirty flaps on the 73300, I have a good Peed Monster livery that has dirty flaps. Nick M, yes, I've been seeing some Peed Monster flaps on the 73300, and I've been wondering where to get those dirty flaps. I love dirty flaps. I've seen them in the screenshots you guys have been posting on the 7.3. Mine are dirty, but they're not as dirty as your guys' flaps, so I would love to have some dirty flaps. I'll have to get that Peed Monster livery. I mean, but that's just beautiful right there. Austrian says, nice to hear that. Can't wait for the Tolus 321. They got some new pictures on the Discord, and the new beta is already in testing. Yes, it is. I have received a beta 2. It is not streamable at this point, so I'm not going to be making any videos on it or anything like that. But I do have beta 2, and I'm doing some more testing on it. And, you know, just a shout out to Tolus and Guiding Kiwi. He's a fantastic developer. And just keeping guys in the loop. It's great. I unfortunately have not been able to test beta 2 just yet. I'll probably do that today or this week. But I had a crazy, last week was completely crazy, and then yesterday was the first time back trying to get on my sim. And like you already know the story about how that all turned out. Cosmic to Bloom, you didn't miss much, man. We're in the 73300. We are just getting ready to start down. It's not a very long flight to Washington, D.C., so we got to make sure we are on our A game as we get into the terminal area. But everything's looking good, man. Big D1, you got to split. Get out of here, man. Catch you later. Have a good one. Daniel Smith, are you the only one that prefers a clean aircraft? I think so. A little bit of dirt. It's always good, man. You can't have a brand new airplane all the time. Easton says, V1, it's quite disappointing that many flight sim yokes just still make 45-degree turn yokes when I don't know any aircraft that has a 45-degree. Yeah, that's a good point, man. I don't know. I'm trying to think back on some of the old beach aircraft. They were all 90, I believe. Yeah. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just a mechanism, you know, cost of production to make it go full 90. I'm not totally sure why that is. I can't imagine it would be that much, but Yeah, I can't think of any plane on top of my head either. It's 45 degrees only. Which airport in DC? Dulles. No, Washington National, KDCA. We're going to do the river visual all the way down. We're going to try to not violate P56, get shot down. Alright, we should probably hop inside here, take a look, see what's going on. Alright, everything looks good here. So, I don't believe I have the star loaded. Oh, let's see, I do. Let's see, what's this? Clipper 2. So, Noogie is at 11,000, so let's take a look at our flight plan here. Are we not on the Clipper 2? What's going on here? That's on the airway. Edwards. Oh no, EY. Oh wow, we're already past it? Oh boy. We gotta get down. Let's put EYESS at 11,000. So we're going to go ahead and reduce that, and we're going to set 11,000, and she's going to start on down. I think we definitely missed. Yeah. We're going to try to meet that at 11,000 feet there. And then by then we'll be close enough. Why are we not descending? Let's do a VNAV path. We'll just do a level change. We're going to force it down. Level change down to 11. So I know the VNAV is one thing that is funky on this airplane. So eyes is here, Edward all the way out to Nays, and then the recommended altitude at Fergie, which is over here, is at 3,000 feet. So I want to put Fergie, that is at 3,000 right there. So looks like we should be all right. I think we are a little bit behind the 8-ball on the descent here. Let's see where it balances out. But we're going to start down to 11,000 feet. We'll go ahead and get the seatbelt sign on. That's one thing that's kind of hard when you don't fly with ATC is you miss a lot of altitude to where you should be at. Let's go ahead and pull up the descent checklist. Pressurization checked, or recall check, auto brakes. Washington, D.C. Guys, we're going to do auto brake 3. VREF, we do need to set that. So init ref, we're going to go flaps 40 because it's Washington, D.C. I think the normal procedure is 30. It's flaps 30. But this is something that I would like to know from a real 7.3 Classic, guys. If you're doing the river visual in D.C., sometimes being at flaps 30 might be a little bit better because you're doing a lot of maneuvering down there at low level. Flaps 40, I could see, when you're coming into a short runway straight in. Maneuvering at flaps 40, I'm not sure exactly what the stipulations are with that. So I'm going to do flaps 40 for the sole purpose that it looks cooler. But real life, I would be curious to know. Something tells me that they would probably do a flaps 30 on the river visual. I don't know. I could be wrong. But maneuvering, typically when you're maneuvering with a high flap load or a high flap degree, 40 degrees, you're almost better off just going flaps 30. But we're going to pay close attention to that speed. 40 at 143. There is no RNF course to set. I'm not going to set the localizer or anything like that. So our VREF is checked. Approach briefing complete. Altimeters, we'll set that here as we pass the transition altitude. So it looks like we're going to pass. Oh, we're looking good. We're going to be at 11,000. There's 18. I'm going to actually, let's go vertical speed. So I'm going to set a vertical speed 1,600. Let's shallow out this descent. We don't need to be ripping down there. Captain Geo, a $5 bomb donation that says, honeycomb yolk is delivered right when I left home, about to make my sick face so they can let me go early. Captain Geo, my friend, thank you for that $5 bomb. Thank you for supporting the channel. That is awesome. I hope you have a ton of fun flying that. I can't wait to see some of your pics. I hope you upload them in the Discord of your first couple flights with that honeycomb. But that's exciting, man. I'm excited for you. What's the first plane you're going to fly? Is it going to be the Zebo? Hopefully none of your coworkers watch V1 Simulations YouTube channel, right? May not be very good. Alright, let's check out the Active Sky updated latest and greatest. Washington National showing 10 miles visibility, overcast at 10,000, winds 170 at 5. That's child's play. Altimeter 2982. So let's not make a fool of myself. 2982 in the box. We'll set it once and twice. 2982, 1, 2, and then a new higher FO. I got to show him how to set his altimeter. 2982. Perfect. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go auto brakes 3. Nothing to set in the init ref. We're coming down to 11,000 feet across eyes. Beautiful. That's going to bring us out on this arrival, which we're going to take it all the way out to Nays. Kind of puts you on a extended downwind, if you will, to join the river and come back around. Yeah. This transition here, the cavity transition, that's for landing runway 1. So landing runway 19 from our eyes, track 284 to Edwood, to Negs, all the way up to Nays. Depart Nays, heading 327s for vectors to the final approach course. So we've got that set up. Everything is looking good. Flyby time. This is at a low power setting. Still the best in the game. Aircraft Rick says, hey V1, about the fuel levels in the airplane. Fuel probes in the 737 work with 2 pipes within each other with a small electric current. Through them, that's how you measure the level. Yeah, excellent, man. Dougal says my notebook is running out of pages. Definitely taking notes on this stream, man. Pilot Boy says, what is better system by FS Labs or TOLUS? Oh, man, it's going to have to be FS Labs. FS Labs has everything modeled in an Airbus that I know of, I can think of. So, FS Labs, if it was an X-Plane 11, it would probably be my go-to Airbus, but they've got a lot of extra stuff. I mean, TOLUS has a lot of systems modeled, pretty much everything modeled system-wise. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that, you know, they can improve on, but the FS Labs has extra stuff like CPDLC, ATSU, Data Link. You know, it's just got a bunch of extra stuff that's pretty phenomenal. Geo says, hell yeah, the Zebo 777 short flight over to Haiti. Excellent, man. Alright, we should be leveling here at 11,000. You know what, I'm going to continue. We'll stay at 11,000 for now, but we're going to get down below these clouds. We're definitely in the ice. Oh, that was hydraulic pumps I just shut off. I meant to turn on the anti-ice. Let's try not to do that again. Hopefully I didn't just screw up everything. Everything looks good. We're altitude hold 1,000. It's about to get busy here, guys, so if I fall behind on the chat, forgive me. I'm going to go ahead and select speed. A lot of times to say, especially coming in here, we're going to bring it back to 250. Matter of fact, let's bring it straight back to 210 knots. I do wish they have the mouse wheel scroll. I think that is something in the update that's coming out, this mouse wheel scroll. Issa, you went back 5 minutes on the stream. That's why it seems so delayed. I gotcha. Yeah, that would definitely seem delayed. I know there's about a 60-second delay. Maybe it's a little less than 60 seconds, but it's about the normal delay for my streams. Not much to see here, but it'll be fun coming down. I just can't wait for the replay. I just got to make sure we look good. Daniel Smith says flaps 30 is the usual landing flap on the 7.3. I want to try it with flaps 40 because I just think it looks so much cooler when those flaps are hanging all the way down. I do need to refresh my speed limit here. Lenny and Mason just subscribed. Thank you so much for the subscription. Glad you're enjoying the content enough to subscribe to the channel. Welcome aboard. 230 is flaps 1, 230 flaps 2, 225 flaps 5, 210 we can all the way to the flaps 10. So I'm going to go ahead and go flaps 5. Flaps 5, let's watch those leading edge slats pop out. Oh yeah. That is juice right there. Straight juice. Straight juice, my friends. There's flaps coming out. Gosh. There's still quite a delay though, Isa? Yeah, I think it's probably around 60 seconds or so. Alright, we're a level at 11,210 knots. Eyes. Here comes Eyes. We're going to make the right turn off of Eyes to Edgewood. And then we'll go ahead and drop down. We'll go ahead and drop down to 7,000. A level change. Man, that trim wheel, just from being on the jump seat, I can tell you guys that is pretty accurate. Pretty darn accurate. Jump seat in this puppy right here is in the wall. It's pretty crazy. So there's two of them. There's this one here, which this jump seat is absolutely miserable. I sat here one time on a flight from St. Louis to Dallas, and look at that's accurate. That's your leg room. So I'm 6'2", not a whole lot of leg room. You probably end up sitting like this. But the problem is if you have a second jump seater, the jump seat is right here. So this folds down and latches down, and then it folds up against the door here. So you can have two cockpit jump seaters. And I was sitting here, and he was sitting here. So we were basically playing footsie the whole flight down to Dallas. It was a miserable experience on the jump seat. But I got home for Christmas, and life was good. So small sacrifices. There's DCA over there with the beautifully unmatched ortho. There is the Washington Monument, White House. Here's the river we're going to be coming down. So I don't know what's going on with my ortho up here, guys. I'm having some serious ortho issues just in this little region. I don't know why. Just chalking it up to X-Plane being X-Plane. I even have X-Organizer. Maybe I have a corrupt file or something, but we still see the river we're going to take. There's Washington Dulles there. There's the Air Force Base. There's the Air Force Base over there. So if we fly into P-56, Monument Valley right here, if we come left of the river, I'm pretty sure they got a tour system down there, or something equivalent. Do not want to be caught over there. So we're going to be headed out here to Nays. I'm not going to take us all the way out. Let's drop her all the way down to 4,000. Level change it one more time down to 4,000. Reaching 4,000 will reduce speed and maintain 180 knots. We're at 10,000. I should have turned my lights on. Excuse me. Lights are on. Here we go. Jeremy Harvey says, do you still get annoyed like the rest of us that airport food is so expensive? Or are you desensitized? I'm desensitized to it now, Jeremy Harvey. But that's not to say that I don't get upset sometimes. I mean, I'll go get a sandwich and it's, that's $14.99. Oh, wait, I forgot to add your airport discount. That's $14.59. It's like, what? 30 cents? 40 cents? Discount? Come on. Yeah, I try not to eat too much airport food, man. It's not good for you. I try to bring my food when I can, but long trips, sometimes there's nothing you can do. Alright, so we need to pay attention here. I'm going to brief myself because I've got this up here for reference. So, 3,000 at Fergie. So we're going to continue our descent down to 3,000 at Fergie. And then at the 6 mile arc. Well, you know what? Didn't you say what's the page? Can't even think of it now. Let's see. Legs. Fix info page. So this is all based off of DCA, right? So check this out. This is what I've been wanting to do in the Airbus forever. DCA, that's what I want. Radials, I want a 60 in the arc. I also want a 4. Oh wait, nope, that's radials. Can I draw circles? After nays, we gotta fly a certain heading. We'll just stay on this heading. We'll reduce speed to 180. Let me come down here real quick. Radial distance, so slash. What do I want? What's the first one? 10? Yes, there's the arc. This is what I want. This is what, you know, something so simple. 6 miles, and we'll do the 3-mile arc there at the end. Beautiful. Alright, so I've got my legs route, or my legs set up. Let's go flaps 15. We're going to come left, heading 30. Oh boy, I touched the other screen. 300, heading select. Let's cycle the box to Fergie. You know what, we'll just LNAV it to Fergie, since we're there now. We're 180 knots, flaps 10, I want to be flaps 15. I think that's, oh shoot, there's 15, there's 15. Unable to cruise altitude, I know, we already missed that. Alright, so I'm going to miss a lot of the chat here, I apologize. Man, that trim wheel is ripping. We're flaps 15, descending 3,000 feet in the left turn direct to Fergie. We got condensation coming off our wings. Holy smokes. If that doesn't look cool, I don't know what does. Alright, but we have our rings. So I have a 6-mile ring, 4-mile, 3-mile. Or no, I have 10, 6, and 3. I skipped the 4. So as long as we're at 900 feet at 3 miles, we should be good. We're at 3,000 feet. We're turning direct to Fergie. We're going to intercept the river at Fergie. 1,800 feet over Chain Bridge, sorry. 1,500 here. 900 at Key Bridge. Alright, the pressure is on. We're going to zoom in the ND down there. I wish I had track IR for this. I really do. Ooh, getting ready for your approach there, Mike Razone in the flight factor. Ooh, Palm Beach. Excellent. So once we hit Fergie, we're going to turn everything off. Let me just look here. I wanted to pull up this river visual 19 here. Perfect. So I can see my references. Alright, so there's the river. $1,800 at Chain Bridge, that's our first one. I'm gonna, once we get cleared in, I'm gonna set 900 in the altitude, just to, as a reference, because we know 900 feet is our last checkpoint here at Memorial, or I'm sorry, not Memorial Bridge, but at Key Bridge at the 3 DME arc. Alright, we are cleared approach, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and disengage. I'm going to leave... we'll turn the auto thrust off. Screw it, we'll do it completely manual. I'm sure that was the incorrect way to disengage the auto thrust, but we're hand flying it now. We're going to turn our flight directors off. What was our ref speed? It was 143. Alright, let's follow the river. Push this down just a little bit here. Just bumping that gear warning horn. So our 6 mile, which is our next green arc that's coming up there at the bottom of the ND, that should be at about 1,500 feet.
2,500.
Altitude alert, roger, we're descending below. I want them to set 900 here. We're following the river. Now remember, if you're doing this approach, it's always good to cheat to the right. I'm gonna go ahead and lower the landing gear now. If you gotta cheat on the river, cheat to the right. Don't cheat to the left. Here comes our first checkpoint. We're a little bit high. We'll go ahead and get the flaps down 1 notch to 25. We'll come to idle on the thrust there. Just about, we're about 500 feet high on our first checkpoint at 6 miles, so we'll keep an eye on that. Flaps 30. Flaps full. Don't want to get caught slow here, so 143 was our ref speed. Alright, so our last marker that we want to hit, 3 miles at 900 feet. So that's that last green arc that we see coming in there. This is where you want to be careful when you're cheating. Ref speed is definitely a little bit below ref. Got to get that speed back up. Yeah, this is where I really think that flaps 30 might have been the better decision. So draggy here at flaps 40. I'm really having a hard time keeping that speed. And there we go, we're coming over the buildings. Here's a 900 feet, we're looking good. Keep that descent rate going right around 500 feet per minute. This is where you want to stay right, don't cheat left. Don't cheat left. Yeah, I really got to keep that power in there. Wow. Right over the middle of the river. We're going to make a right turn here. Just follow the road. Pretend like you're going to fly that road, like you're going to land on the road. First officer, could you set go around altitude for me, please? He's having a hard time setting his altimeter, so he probably won't be able to set the go around altitude. We're definitely high here, I think 500 feet. Watch that sink rate. Start that turn in there.
500.
A little bit high as we come out of the turn.
400.
A white over white. 1,500 feet per minute correcting.
300.
Speed is a little low. We're
Minimum.
2 whites, 2 red. Minimum's runways in sight. We're VREF minus a few, so let's go ahead and fix that.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh boy. That's a bouncer. I was way too slow. Oh, you know what? I didn't arm the spoilers. Reverse green. Ouch. I was way too slow on ref there on landing. I had no more elevator control. We just plopped it and bounced. Yikes. Hey, we're down. Welcome to Washington National. Disengage the auto brakes. 45 feet above threshold. I'll take it. But, man. Okay, so I have learned something. Flaps 30 approach would have been much better. But this was so fun, guys. We might have to do another stream here very soon in this airplane. I want to redeem myself. I think, because that was fun flying down with the honeycomb. That was so much fun. We'll make 2 right turns, clear across 422, taxi the ramp with me. All right, so 2 right turns, clear across 422. I really think I would have been better off at flaps 30. I'm going to see that replay. You're going to see what happened is I go to flare and I just have no more airspeed. I have no elevator control or no elevator authority. But I think my ref speed was, I don't even know what my speed was as we came across the threshold. I think I was in the low 30s, you know. We're supposed to be at 143. Oh well. We're down safe. One hopper. I'll blame it on the FO. We'll start cleaning up the airplane here. Let's get the APU fired up. Clear those lights off. Strobe lights off. Set that out of the way. There we go. Dimitri says I'm booking an appointment with my chiropractor. I'll send V1 Sim the invoice. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'll take that invoice for you, and I will get you set up with a chiropractor for sure. I was definitely a bouncer. I don't know. It seemed pretty hard. Let's take a look at the replay. I'm surprised we bounced. I'll be interested to see here in this replay if the airplane actually got airborne again. Because at that low ref speed, I don't think it would get airborne again, because we were pretty darn slow. But we'll take a look at it here. We're going to take the next left here into the towers. Let's do a checklist here. Speed brakes, I should have armed them. I did not arm them, but they deployed with weight on wheels and reverse selected, so that's good. Fuel pumps off, impeller heats off, so there's really no after landing checklist there. Alright. We'll take this next left here next to the 7.3 NG. Clear left. No, we're not. We got a baggage cart in the way there. Oh, wow. I don't know which gate is... Oh, there's the line. I see it. Alright. I see ya. No, I gotta go left. I hear you. I saw an IAE engine over there. Oh, looks so good. Oh, short stroked me. There we go. Brake set. We've got APU power. Killing it. Listen, the spool down sounds are fantastic on this airplane. Cosmic says, big oof from me, champ. Yeah, man, that was an oof for sure. But you know what? I learned a lot. You know, I know we talk about learning on this channel a lot, and I'm trying to teach you guys, but I really learned... I knew I should have went with my gut and gone flaps 30, and I knew it would be more draggy, but man, if that is realistic, I don't know how realistic it is, you know, but I wonder what Flight Deck to Sim says about the flying characteristics of this airplane at flaps full, or any 7.3 for that matter at flaps 40. Because it was, I mean, I had to get those N1s up there. I felt like I was going to go around thrust, you know, and that's just something, you know, I'm used to the Airbus, right, where you have a much smaller motion of travel on those thrust levers. But, man, flaps 40 really drags you down. So we'll go ahead, that looks good there. We'll do a full shutdown after the replay. So what I'm going to do is I'll just go ahead and let's get this set up here for the replay, because I want to study that landing. What am I looking for? Plug-in admin, there we go. I don't know why I can never find it. Real view, we'll disable that so we don't have a chance of messing up that. We'll go into a replay mode. And here we go. Oh boy. Whoa, okay, so that was loud. Apologize for that. The Arctic or Aircraft Wix says every landing you can walk away from is a good landing. I appreciate it, man. I've got the developer menu stuck there. Alright, let's go ahead and speed this up. There's the gear coming down. That's really loud, huh? Why is that so loud? Let's turn that down. Got some weird replay sounds. There's the flaps coming down. There's flaps 40. Man. No joke. Listen to me spooling up the engines. Can I see any speed in here? Ooh, I can. We can study my speed. So look at that. I'm way below ref already. It should be interesting as we get close to the buildings there. Rigger says, I just joined now and need back surgery from that landing. Oh boy. You and me both, Rigger. I got Rigger, Dimitri. We all need back surgery after that one. But I learned my lesson. Yeah, I think that flaps 40 was definitely too aggressive. So we're getting ready to go by the buildings, the view that freaks everybody out. I mean, those engine sounds are pretty sweet. There's the hotels there. There's a DoubleTree down there. Oh, that's cool. Can we see it from... There we go. We got it from out there. Let's get a little tune on here. Any plans on flying the JAR A330 anytime soon? You know, not the first one to ask me. A couple of you guys have been asking me for some JAR 330 stuff, so we might be doing some JAR 330 stuff in the future. I kind of miss seeing that big wide-body Airbus, you know? We'll probably get jarred, but it might be worth it, you know? I'm not going to take it into hard IMC with the Cat 3. I know that, because last time we ended up in Boston, she wanted to do all kinds of funky stuff. But, alright, let's look at this landing here. Oh yeah, I can hear the engines already. Am I on the wrong runway? I am. Shoot. Back it up, back it up, back it up. Right there. So we're coming around. The lineup was good. Lineup was really good. Let's take a look. Let's go ahead and pause it right there. So we're lined up now on final 200 feet, 135 knots. I apologize. It gets really loud when we go inside. That. So here we come. Over the threshold. I'm a little bit cattywampus. 134 knots still. Ooh. What? Wait, what? Did it actually touch? Oh, it did touch. Wait, what? Wait a second. Slow motion this. Is there like an invisible ground layer? Okay, so there's the first touchdown right there. 130 knots. And off centerline, not to mention. So that's 130 knots. That's 13 knots below ref. That's definitely why we bounced. Or not why we bounced, but definitely why it was hard. I had no more elevator authority. I was almost full aft. You see that? Look at that deflection. And then we just came right back down. Slow motioned it. I mean, at least it wasn't like a 700, but it was firm. But that's all. The reason this landing was firm is because I was below ref, guys. That's the importance about being on ref speed. Look at the reversers coming out. That's pretty sweet. But that's the importance about being on ref, guys. You run out of elevator authority, and that can cost you big time. Let's do a shot from inside here. Yeah, it's almost too loud to do these internal shots. Let's do a flat view here. You know what? I bet if I had the spoilers armed, that it wouldn't have bounced too, because I didn't have the spoilers armed. So I think there's different triggers for getting the spoilers out. If they're not armed, I think you have to have weight on wheels and reverse thrust for the spoilers. Kind of like the Airbus does the same thing. But a lot to learn on that one. There's a lot to learn on that one. Alright guys, I'm going to back it up. And you know what, I'll probably end up just muting the audio from this thing because it's so loud. I'm going to get that music going, guys. Everyone that's been hanging out with me in the stream, I appreciate it. Thank you for all the mods, all my mods working the stream here today. Sponsors, new members to the channel, subscribers, just guys hanging out and chat, viewing. Thank you for all the donations. This was a lot of fun. It's been a long stream for me. I had we had the TBM up front there. That was a lot of fun. But there may be another something special coming your way. Who knows? We'll see. I'm going to see if I can get my 727 fixed here pretty soon. Overall, though, I think it was a great stream. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day wherever you're tuning in from. And I will catch you next time. See ya!